God, dude.
Pause it.
And obviously playing the Outlaws, potentially a championship PLO preview.
We're watching their games. They look good. They're first in the West, first in the East. So, yeah, we don't know if this is the only time we'll see them, but we just got to take care of it this Saturday.
Oh my God, Nestler!
Who queued him up? Who queued him up? The Mitchell Pehlke Lacrosse Show is back. Episode 27, presented by 𝐓𝐇𝐄 Live on the Lacrosse Network. We're back. We got a packed episode. Hoagie, Doogs, Kev. Let's drive right in to my biggest takeaway of the week. The Archers aren't going to three-peat. The Archers will not three-peat. I think it's universal, not even up for discussion. I do not think the Archers will three-peat. Last place, league standings, winless. Homecoming weekend. It's kind of sad. I thought they would have captured one, but they don't. Kevin, let's hop to you, a guy that is just through and through a lax rat, somebody would say, and I love lax rats, but is there any option where Archers could three-peat?
They're not, like, mathematically out, but they need help at this point. And
clinical.
Yeah,
Clinical
maybe.
help, Mitch.
Honestly, it's gotten terribly sad. Like, 2 years in a row, Tom Schreiber goes down in front of like the homecoming fans. Like that's so tough. And then they didn't have Grant Amen for the second game. And I actually thought like they put up a respectable fight against the Outlaws. Like in a game where I just felt like they had no offensive options to, like other than Sam King, like grinding out a hat trick. But you knew that game was going to get away from them at some point. The two bombs were raining on them. Brennan O'Neill getting booed and like just turning into a superhuman. I feel bad for the Archers because I think they're fighting and they still have a lot of heart, but they're at the bottom of the league.
There it is. I think that's really it.
Yeah,
is it?
No, I mean, yeah, they're not three-peating. It's tough. They're my championship pick, so I'm like, dang. But you know, I've been long on the Archers all year. I thought. You know, the second half of the year, I really felt like once they got their guys back from injury that they would, you know, find a way to put it together, and they've just gotten more injuries and gotten more unhealthy. And, yeah, it's kind of just sucks the way it's going to end for them most likely. They only have one game left, right, because they're not playing this weekend, so they'll play the Chaos in Boston last week, which, honestly, looking at the standings, that could be a playing game. It could be a playoff game to get into the playoffs. We'll see how the standings shake out, but yeah, just a tough year for the Archers. Ton of injuries. You know, you have Cisco down. Matt Moore's out for the year. Schreiber, Amen's been dealing with injuries all year. Trey didn't come back till 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
The mix of all that, we're going to have a new champion in 2025. And honestly, I'm excited to see it too, right? I love dynasties, but sometimes you got to see a new team win, and looks like we're going to see it this year.
100%. And we almost saw a new team. We almost saw a new team win at the Shore. Team hit the Frog. So it's kind of a fun little segue right
what
there,
division?
Dukes. The C division. You're such a...
What, I was genuinely curious.
There were some good teams.
We got to clear there.
Can we just please?
There's been some hate online, and the screenshots are on the TV right now.
Can we just please clap it up for Mitch? I mean, Mitch joining the C League to get a viral clip.
I'm a weed guy.
Yeah, can we roll the clips? Can we roll the clips from War at the Shore?
100%. Yeah, roll them. They're going to be on the screen right now. And the fun part is, Hoagie was there. I asked Dukes. He said he hurt himself. Texted Kev. Didn't respond. And now we're here. We got half the MPLS on the field. We didn't have the other half. Maybe next year.
No, we're coming for that championship. We're coming for that championship at 26. Team hit the Frog. Don't
Kev,
you worry about it.
You played.
Mitch, the Southeast. What? The Southeast. We're coming for the Southeast. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, we're coming for the Southeast. Kev, what position would you play?
I told you last week I'd be your starting ex-attackman, and I'd get you way better clips than the ones you got this past weekend.
Okay.
Who do we have starting?
Dude, Hooperville going BTB. That's just like a daily occurrence with your boy Doogs over here. Dude, I would be going like Matt Trainer mode down the right alley, just bing bong.
We had an elite attack line though. We had Truman on the left, Connor Eck on the right, and Varro, man and X, working as a QB behind the net. So good squad.
It was fun. Team hit the Frog. Be on the lookout. First ever lacrosse creator team hit the circuit. We couldn't get it done. But if we had, potentially Dukes, potentially Dr. Kev, maybe. But stay tuned for next year.
That was one of the biggest things. We just ran out of bodies in the end, and guys like Dukes sitting out with injury. We didn't have him. And
I didn't sit out with injury. It was my dad's birthday. We had a bocce all weekend.
It actually did look sick. I'll be honest.
It was so
bocce
fire.
in the backyard. It did look fire. Kind of wish I was there.
We'll do that. We'll do that at the championship. We're gonna bocce.
Yeah,
GU
Champ Series. After we complete year 2 of MPLS, we're gonna have a full celebration. I already talked to the Ravens. We're gonna
So,
get
what was your favorite bar?
My favorite establishment was Parker House.
I took Mitch to Parker House, Dukes. I don't worry.
That's
him
a
loose.
top 5 establishment for Mitch Pehlke. The way they just flow traffic, I'm Italian, I got no patience. The way they're blowing the whistles for the ice behind the bar, the way they're, hey, let's go, keep the lines going. That's top 5 for your boy.
Yeah, it's so well. Well, were you upstairs or downstairs? Were you in God's basement?
We were both.
I took him all over, Dukes. I gave him the full experience.
What time did you leave?
Closing. We left at closing.
Yeah. Okay. I know this is probably your part. You also closes at 12.
What's up? Closes at 11:30.
11:30.
Going at 11:20.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Actually,
Dukes.
my
I knew
favorite
that
part.
he would love Parker House because they close at 11:30. Uber's ordered by 11:20. Close the bar out. See ya.
I'm like, oh.
What time? What time did you have the face mask on? Oh.
Oh, wait.
Oh my
wow,
God,
wow.
Nestler!
Wow.
This is the guy that I
Look at
want to see
this.
talking about Team Frog. Who queued him up?
Is
Who queued
it?
him up?
Are the rumors true, Mitch and Hoagie, that you guys lost in the C Division
This is
Championship?
criminal.
Yeah, who queued this up? Who teed
Who
this thing
did
up?
this?
Anything to say to the people?
Hey, Team of Creators, we're we team, and we lost to a bunch of kids on Salisbury in the C Division. It's sad
Wow,
to say,
wow.
but
So
I'm
the
gonna own up.
Salisbury kids. Wow, so a bunch of D3 guys took down the big bad Ohio State boys. Would you look at that? Mitch, the D1 hero, his team of fucking he just brings them together in his pawn he puts. He tries to disrespect the state of New Jersey, come to my state, and just disrespect the tournament. And I couldn't be happier they lost. I think it's a team full of great guys individually, but what Mitch was trying to do with
This
them
is
as a
criminal.
whole is disgusting. C Division with current D1 guys. I hope the GM or the leader of Wart the Shore reaches out to you
This is
and
criminal.
makes you play in the A Division next year,
We're having a
so
full
we can
stadium
get
lead by
HD
Nesty.
footage.
We had
of you
Nestler over
getting
at the Frog
spanked.
tent. Nestler was over at the
We had
tent.
Nestor at the Frog tent. Yeah, I just want to say, too,
Yeah.
the first time we saw Nesty, we came on the field, he got absolutely shelled on the crease. And it was a weekend occurrence.
my God.
It was every game. And it showed, I don't think they won a game the whole 2 days. Look, it is what it is.
We were
Team Frog on
1-3, and the play Mitch is talking about was with 5 seconds left, down 5 goals. Kid threw 152 fakes on the crease and scored. Mitch is running after me with his camera. It's like, you get off my field before I throw your camera into the bleachers. All right, like this is you don't come to New Jersey and pull ththose stunts. You pull those stunts at the PLO Championship, Mitch. It's gonna be your last time in Jersey. I'm not gonna warn you again. But I just want to say. Shout out Wart the Shore, shout out the fellas, but Mitch, if you can't play in the C Division again, man. Or we're
Nesty,
going to have problems.
look. I think at the end of the day, you and your sad Chatham boys, I don't even know, Cabrini boys, whatever it was, you're a creator now, son. Get to the good side.
Yeah, come to the
Get goal
Frogs,
for Team
Nesty.
Frog next year.
Yeah, no.
He can't leave his
No,
boys.
I'm not
he can't
sitting
leave his
under a
boys.
tent. I'm not sitting under a tent with your face on it, Mitch. All right? That's ridiculous. That's asking outrageous things. I'm a grown man.
I'm giving you
I
the
turned
invite.
28 in 2
I'm
months.
giving you the invite, but you'd actually have to try out next year. So Dukes has already made the
Mitch,
team.
Mitch.
Hey, we had a pretty good goalie, Mitch. We had a pretty good
Yeah, we
goalie.
did.
Mitch,
We did.
if you put together a team, if you put together the same team next year and I bring my same team, I'll put up $100 ahead and we can just play at the fields.
Oh,
We'll
let's
set
do
up.
it. Lock
Just-
that in.
No. If you guys went 1-3,
Don't be
that's a
showing
sign.
up
That's
with
a
your
sign.
ringers.
You should be in the C Division. So get down to the C Division. We'll host the
Nestler, Nesty
championship.
looked great though, by the way, at
Come
Jenks
up.
in the dress. You look great in the dress,
Yeah,
Nesty.
you look
Yeah.
great in the dress.
I did. Yeah,
Nestler-
it wasn't great for me, man. It went okay, but everyone looks at you, and it's not fun when everyone's staring at you. It's hard to enjoy your night. I'm kind of sitting there, a lot of eyes on me. A lot
Nestler.
of people just laughing at me, which eventually I was a little pissed. No one thought it was real. Like I was like, "What the fuck? You don't think you don't think I could actually wear this dress?" But I was wearing a backwards hat. Shout out backwards hats, fellas out there. Mitch never wears a hat because he's soft. And I was wearing a watch, so I kind of gave it away there. But it was fun. Shout out Jenks. I'll be back this weekend. It was a lot of fun. Dukes, I'm gonna need you on my team next year. We're gonna get you, Hoopify, Hooperville, and Truman over to the
Oh, now
Cabrini
Mitch,
side.
that was recruiting guys from our team. Whoa.
Yeah,
Nest, I'm a free
stealing-
agent.
You can't step on toes.
And
Yeah,
Hoagie,
get Kev. He's 40. We
Hoagie,
got dudes.
I'll take everyone. I'll take the whole Mitch Pehlke Show invite right now for next year's War at the Shore, including
What's
Mitch.
your
Mitch,
team
you're
even
invited too.
called?
It's called the Pleasants. We're B team champions, Mitch. If you want to scroll down the
When?
website,
You went 1 and 3.
we're A team champions, 2020. You
Oh,
can scroll down the
whoa.
website. You'll
We
see
need
us there.
receipts.
What? There are 4 teams there because of COVID?
I'll show you the pictures. When you post this on
2020.
Lacrosse Network,
There
just
wasn't
go.
even
Oh, that was
Go forward.
COVID.
That's-
Mitch, that was
Yeah,
COVID.
COVID.
Bubble,
See,
yeah.
That was a
COVID,
bubble
That
championship.
was a bubble.
Mickey
show.
Mouse.
Mickey Mouse War at the Shore championship. There's two
It's
teams
Mitch.
playing.
Guys trying to flex.
There was 2 teams playing, and the championship game, the other team couldn't show up because of COVID, so it was an automatic
Yeah.
win.
Who flexes a 2020 championship?
Oh
That's
my
like,
God.
that went
so
south. Poorly. That went so
was
poorly.
I'll give it to Mitch and Hoagie here, man. Like solo, like I'll slap them both. When they get their little back and forth going there, they run a good show there. So
They do. They do. They run a 2-man.
See, Ohio State connection, baby.
potential COVID championship. There were plenty of teams, but I'm never gonna dodge the allegation. So you just sort of gotta. I can't sit here and argue that one.
Hey, you're a nice
There was
guy,
a brawl in
though.
the
You're a nice guy.
championship. It was electric.
Nestler,
Went to OT.
I got one more. Nestler, I got one more for you before you get out. Do you think it was funny
Yes,
that
sir.
Ohio State's very own Mitchell Pehlke wasn't wearing an Ohio State helmet?
He's wearing a Hopkins helmet.
Because maybe he wanted to go undercover for the C division games to then just fucking dunk it all over people and get that little clip that he wants out there. Shout out
Let me
Tucker.
talk.
Yes.
He knows how
Let
to
me
edit a
talk.
video really nice.
Let me talk.
He had the
Number
Hopkins
one.
helmet on.
Number 1, I'm a wee guy. I gave away all my gear at the Mitchell Pehlke Lacrosse Experience Camp. Sign up at mitchellpehlke.com. Number
Wow,
2,
what a guy.
it was really the only helmet I had on par because of the undercover videos I did do. Shout out at Delphi, shout out Calvert Hall. And that was really it. There was no rhyme or reason. I'm just a nice guy. I gave away all my gear.
You gave away everything?
Mitch,
That's crazy.
Yes.
You gave away everything.
Yes.
what about your jersey?
Every single
what about
thing.
Your gray, what about your gray Ohio State jersey, Mitch?
I still have
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, you say everything. It's right there. See, everyone who thinks Mitch
Hey,
Phelps tells
you
the
went
truth.
1 and
Lie.
3, dog. You went 1 and 3. I got to talk to Commissioner. You're coming down to the C level, dog. It's
No,
just
you're
sickening.
coming up. And before I go, Mitch, I got one for you.
Yeah.
The Nestler Lacrosse Show now, baby. Would you say you have a new level of respect for D3 guys after the Salisbury boys just smacked you around in the C Division Championship?
Well, I would say one thing. The Fogo is this year's Notre Dame starting Fogo. So I love Hoagie, but he couldn't get it done. And
Wow.
no,
Immediately
Throws his team
Wow, he's throwing.
not throwing Hoagie.
Hey,
not
hey.
throwing Hoagie.
That is
We're talking about
crazy.
it
That
now.
is
We're
crazy.
talking-
That you're
I'm
blaming.
not throwing Hoagie. I'm not blaming you. I'm saying
just did.
we had an
Oh
an
my God.
active guy that won 2 championships in Notre Dame as the Fogo. That had a lot to do with it. My performance sucked. Offense performance sucked on Team Frog. But I'm not saying they had all D3 guys. They had a D1 guy
Wow.
with 2-time national champion.
No, they had a
Shout
good
out
squad.
Gallagher.
I mean, we
Yeah.
lost 5-3.
I get it.
A ton of our shots should have went down. That grass
Yeah.
was bouncing wild. We got to get that down for next year.
Alex Sandoval
So
was around?
I'll write that. I'll write that down. It was Hoagie and the grass's fault. Sounds good.
Sandoval wasn't around?
Nesty, I'll text you. All right? I'll
No
try to
comment.
get you in. We're gonna have tryouts and everything. All right, so you can log off now.
No, actually, I'm gonna say live. We're live. I'm the biggest Ohio State hater the rest of my life, and I will hate Team Frog to the day I die. You've created an enemy. All my Stevenson hate is going directly towards you. If it's a bit I die on, it's a bit I die on. But this is my
Hey,
announcement
Team
to the
Frog.
world. Thank
I'll
you
send
for
you.
giving me
I'll
this
send you a
platform.
jersey.
Yeah, send him a jersey, Mitch, for next
I'll
year.
take one. Send me a
Early
jersey.
Christmas
I'll
present,
join.
Nestler.
I got you. I'll join if you send me a jersey.
All right. Thanks, Nesty.
All right. Love you guys. Have fun. I appreciate
See you,
you,
brother.
boys.
See you,
Thanks
Nest.
for
Yes,
having me
sir.
on. Peace, boys.
Nesty, a legend.
What an absolute legend.
Legend.
You know, I don't know if that
He was
Kev
flexing a
or
COVID
Doogs.
championship, too. It
I know.
worked.
What are we doing? That's like when Duke says MCLA Dayton almost won a championship in 2020.
No, dude,
like
they
sad.
stole.
Oh,
Dayton
here
would have
we
won
go.
2 in a calendar year. 2 in a would have won March Madness basketball. I would have fucking won an MCLA championship. Probably would have spent my 5th year not going to Barstool, probably going to Ohio State, helping them. Think of the trajectory of our lives. We wouldn't be on the show together. You guys would have a ring. I'd have a ring. I'd have 2 probably. I'd come save Nick Myers' job.
All I gotta say is
5 years earlier.
Team Frog's coming back with a championship next year.
Team Frog's coming
It was
back.
tough seeing the
pumped.
polos on the table
Yeah.
without us grabbing them.
Yeah.
But we'll be
They
back
kinda
in
brought it out too
2026,
early, like, oh,
raising
you're
the
Team Frog,
trophy.
here you go. And then it was like, we lost.
What was the
Kevin,
score?
5-3.
It was 5-3. Kevin Boiler. The
Sounds
invite
like you
is
needed 2
on
more goals.
The invite is on the table right now, and it's only on the table for 10 seconds. Will you be playing for Team Frog in 2026?
I'll be starting for Team Frog.
Wow.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. And you'll be starting and running as head coach. As a head coach, will you be even allowing Doogs to be on the team?
I don't know. I don't
Lot
know,
of
Mitch.
hesitation there.
I don't know. I'm
problem.
a point the thumb kind of guy, not like you. So got it. You just threw Hoagie under the bus for your team's performance. I'm
Not saying I didn't say that. He said there's a lot of D1 guys. I said there is a D1 guy on the team. He is a 2-time national champion. Hoagie hasn't been in the face-off position in the whole year. And I only
I
had
don't know.
I didn't have a great performance in the championship.
I'll take it, but I 2 for 6 in that game. I'll take 2 for 6 in that game for not playing for 2 years. I took 6 faceoffs. Me and my boy Winston. Shout out Winnie,
Yeah, shout
CD
out
Lax. Me and him were
Legend.
splitting the reps. I think it was just one of those days that we were just couldn't find the net, couldn't find the back of the net.
Couldn't find the net.
What about Tyler Sandoval?
Sandoval? We didn't really. I don't know, honestly.
Yeah,
We're gonna
reach
talk
out
with the
next
Yeah,
year.
partners.
we're recruiting
Yeah,
next year. I think we're gonna get
recruit.
we're gonna get Steven Zupicic
You
off
gotta
of Team
send
Roots.
your Instagram and then send
we
your
gotta
highlight
get
tape
we
in.
gotta get Trailer Park Sports too. That guy, we need to add him to the offense.
Yeah.
That guy's a
Yeah.
legend.
He doesn't play lacrosse.
Does he not? Yeah, he does.
Nope.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? He doesn't
Also,
play
what
lacrosse.
about a fan
He
favorite?
posts
Alex
videos of himself
Polsky?
shooting all the time.
Maybe he
Yeah.
does. I
Should we
think
get
he told me he
AP on
didn't.
here?
No, AP's
AP.
coaching. He's coaching. He'll coach. AP, you coaching or playing defense?
Everyone's in trouble.
I can be a player's coach. I can be a player coach. I can do it all.
So if you're our head coach for Team Frog next year, is Dukes on the team or not? Does he make
Did
it?
I just get fired?
Well, I'll let Dukes come on if he promises not to snap his leg in half again.
I won't. I wasn't getting my.
Those fields were iffy, Mitch. I don't know if that ankle's going to hold up next year.
AP, jury's still out. We just don't know if he actually broke it or not.
Mitch. I want to say this.
Let's
to
keep
Mitch.
the show going.
I want to stay on two more seconds. Can I be the GM? Let me be the GM.
Yeah, but this is the problem. Like, you're going to come. We need to see you sweat. I don't even know if you played lacrosse before in your life. We've never seen any tape.
Let's go to Lacrosse Unlimited next week. I'll literally put my Johns Hopkins helmet on, my Mitchell Pehlke gray jersey, and I'll slash those forearms so hard you'll be wishing it was Owen Grant instead.
Hey, stay tuned. Team Hit the Frog 2026. Hoagie, what was your biggest takeaway from this weekend?
Hold up. Before we go into Hoagie's takeaway, we had a great submission talking about your takeaway, the Archers. Kai the goalie sent us a video.
Kai the goalie?
Can we play that?
Oh,
Wait, what?
let's play it.
Oh, he doctored it up.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's Kai the goalie, and I'm a huge Arcus fan, but sometimes you gotta call it like it is. 𝐓𝐇𝐄 has got to go. I don't know what we're doing on the faceoff, but it's not working. Our best offensive player is Sam King. He's a rookie on a team where you have so many great players like Tom Streiber, Mac O'Keefe, and Grant Ament, and you have a rookie carrying your offense. That's a problem. We need more Dyson Williams ASAP. He was the Rookie of the Year in the NLL for a reason. He can ball. Put him on the field. On defense, unless your name is Graham Hossick, you're on skates all year. We need to do better. Yo, my man Dauber is making a 60% save percentage. That's insane. But we can't get it upfield because we catch like a U11 team. We gotta do better. I love my boys and I'll always ride or
That's
die.
heinous.
But the best fans in the PLL deserve better. And yeah, send me one of those replica championship rings. I'm sorry for ragging on you, Coach Bates. Alright, thanks for having me on. This is Kai the goalie out.
Kai the goalie calling it how it is. Look at him. He's calling.
Can I give some notes to Kai the goalie?
Yeah, give it to him. He's
Look,
watching.
Look, yeah, Kai. Here's what you got to do. If you're gonna rip apart a team like I tend to do sometimes, You can't do it with a big smile on your face. It's the funniest. Him being like, this is my favorite team. Full smile, going attack to defense, just ripping them apart.
I respect it though. At the end though, he's like, send me one of those championship
Send me the
rings.
ring.
Yeah.
Send me the ring. He's a legend.
He went scorched earth.
Yeah, Kai the goalie's a
Went
legend.
scorched earth.
Shout out Kai for sending that in. Appreciate it.
Go follow Kai.
I mean,
Absolute legend.
face-off wise,
Big
he
ups,
talked
my boy.
about Naso. If only they had a midseason pickup like J.I., maybe they could have, been more competitive at the X.
Well, one was actually a midseason pickup. One was always on the 25-man roster. I think myself included, though, when the Drip King thing was going down and, the fire torches were out being like, oh, how is it Jake Naso on a roster? Myself included. I don't know. Like, maybe Drip King could have also gone 20% from the Face-Off X.
They had, face-off wise, they had Will Lynch on their roster. Like, they claimed him out of the player pool during, like, after the draft or whatever. I don't know whatever happened with that as regard to if he's just not on the team anymore. Or I know he didn't make the 25, but if they ever considered reaching out to him, yeah, he didn't even try out. So I guess he wasn't an option. But I think Kai makes some good points. I think Dauber's been great all year. And obviously Graham Hossack, Mitch's worst nightmare, getting hacked up by him, has been a legend down there, been great down there. But Schreiber, Eamon, all those guys, they've just been hurt. I don't think Schreiber's fully recovered from that injury he suffered on the same field last year. I don't think he's been the same this year. I don't know if that's age. I don't know if that's just, he's coming to that point in his career where he might not be the same player as he once was. I don't know what it is, but, him and it's just been injuries to me. So it's a whole ton of stuff. I think it's just Coach Bates, they're doing all they can, but it's just not happening this year.
That goes back to the first interview we had at the beginning of the season with Dobson. We asked him, what's the biggest challenge for winning 3 in a row? He said, staying healthy.
Yep.
Kev, can I say something? Give you a quick compliment.
Of course,
that's
bro.
one
That's
of
what
the
this podcast
best.
is for.
That's one of the best callbacks that I've ever had or ever witnessed on any of my 5 lacrosse podcasts. So,
Corey.
That was
We
very
should clip
good
both
callback.
the original interview and Doogs shouting me out.
What's the biggest challenge going back to back to back that you've noticed so far?
I would say probably staying healthy. It's very hard. A lot of guys are banged up. That's a lot of lacrosse over the last 2-3 years now, I guess.
That was a great callback.
Nice guy alert.
Wow.
I like that a ton.
Mitch could literally never wish that opportunity ever happened to him. Let's do a callback right now, Mitch. Do one. What else did we talk about that interview?
But and when Dauber was there, we asked him about his top 5 lax rats, and do you remember who his number 1 pick was?
I want to say, I know Mac O'Keefe was on there. I think himself was on there.
Cursed?
No,
Was it
that was
Cursed?
someone else. Who was it, Mitch? This is a good
Final
this is
answer?
Do you know this, Mitch?
Does he know it?
I don't really know.
Yeah, he doesn't even know, dude. I knew he didn't know.
Cursed.
I think it was.
Well, I get a
Cursed.
half
It
a
was,
ball knower point for that.
No. Stay tuned to the end of that. I'm about to go 2-0. But let's keep it going. We didn't even sniff, though, something in the air, I think.
Kev, what's he
is
pulling
that?
up? What's Kev pulling back there?
What is that?
Little Duke Cannon.
Folks. Little Duke Cannon. What scent we got over there? Is that the Buffalo Trace?
It's a big bourbon, Buffalo Trace.
Ooh.
The best.
And I'll be telling you. Hoagie and I had that Buffalo Trace on at Parker House.
We did.
We were
Mitch,
giving a lot of people
Mitch
the
was
Heisman.
kind enough, the kind gentleman he is, to bring the Duke Cannon product that got sent to us. He brought it to the Warrior Shore at the Airbnb to make sure we would have shampoo and condition, all that. So
Smelling
Mitch,
good.
Mitch, I'll give you a compliment on that for bringing that. That was shout out
Because
to
Team Frog, we don't just win games. We win off the field, and we smell good with Duke Cannon. Work harder, smell better. The moment of this past weekend was Brennan O'Neill getting booed, which was absurdly crazy, and then just going off. I mean, the mic'd up screaming clip goes down in history.
It's going to be Nick Wishuta. Oh.
The first thing I thought about, Rob Gronkowski.
should the MVP should have been. Clip it.
Rob Gronkowski. I mean, immediately. Did anyone else think of that?
Yeah.
I mean, Kevin Boiler did because I saw his video today. Very well done again.
No, I know.
Anyone see this coming?
I didn't.
But talk about the clip. I mean, talk about not the clip, but just the whole atmosphere. Obviously, for Brennan.
Somebody can mention break.
Cody, it's your take.
No,
It's your
yeah.
take.
I mean, Brennan O'Neill just came alive in Utah. Obviously, 6 points on the weekend. He had two 2-point goals, and he balled out. It was a big Western Conference game. You had Denver, Utah in Utah. The Archers fans have been known to be some of the best in the league. I think people have said it's one of the best environments in the PLL over the last couple of years. And, for Brennan O'Neill, he's kind of always been a villain, but he kind of really was in that villain role this weekend. Every time he touched the ball, you could hear the boos on the TV. I couldn't even imagine being in the stadium, how cool that must have been. And, we're talking about week in, week out with Trevor and stuff last week about making the games feel more and more like home environments. And kind of when you're the home team, you have them on your back. And when you're the away team, it feels like, all right, this isn't just any other game. Like, I'm going on the road. Trevor talked about it like a quarterback going on a road game in a big game. Brennan stepped up. The whole team stepped up. And to me, the Outlaws, I've been waiting week after week for them to kind of, all right, we're good. Or, we're just going to kind of try and skate by. Kind of like Team Frog did a little bit in that semifinal before we figured it out. But they haven't. They've just been pedal to the metal. Business as usual. We're going to come in. We're that good. We're going to handle our business. On to the next. Brennan O'Neill, no different. Getting booed. Had one of his best games of the year. So that's going to be our Duke Cannon, work harder, smell better moment of the weekend. Brennan O'Neill. Balled out again. This is his second week. This is back-to-back for Brennan on Duke Cannon Player of the Week. So
I know. I'm stoked to see where he is potentially in the MVP should have been rankings.
We'll see here coming up with Doogs. Doogs, your biggest takeaway from the weekend?
My biggest takeaway from the weekend is those dogs, the Waterdogs. What the hell?
What the hell?
Yeah, Bill Tooney's a legend. I think we got to start throwing out. I remember last year we kind of danced around and being like it was week 1. Is he washed?
Ooh, I saw you tweet that.
I did see Dukes tweeted as Tierney washed, Mitch. You think he's washed?
In this situation, dude, the way that he's handling this goalie situation, I do not understand at all. DeLuca wasn't getting shelled by any means. He was above 50%. He played very well last week as well. And they keep flip-flopping this goalie situation in season. Now, not once, not twice, 3 times, and they just did it in a game again. I don't know what he's doing, what his plan is. He said he wanted to get the defense organized in the second half. I get it. Wardo is, one of the best goalies, in my opinion, of all time. You get that he's the veteran at that back-end defense, a goalie that has won a championship for this organization. But you're not giving any of these goalies any confidence by letting them play on their heels.
But weren't the Waterdogs doing this before Tierney got there, though, too? Weren't they still? No, it just started last year.
Not to this level.
But they were going back and forth to some degree, weren't they? They had both guys.
They would play DeLuca first week or two of the season when Ward was getting out of the box.
All right.
And I think there were some instances where Ward was maybe hurt and DeLuca played.
I just felt like I've always seen it back and forth week to week, whether it was injury or not. Prior to Tierney getting there, I feel like
Ward was always the starter.
The Waterdogs, I've always felt like the goalie situation just been a revolving door with who's starting each week. I don't even know who's starting until I watch the game.
And you mentioned it, Dukes. It wasn't even like he was playing bad. And it really makes a difference if you take away that one freakish 2-pointer by Glacini from across the midfield line.
Chucked it down, yeah.
Yeah, like you're talking about a tie game at halftime.
Right. And I think another takeaway that I'm going to actually steal this. Stealing it. Thank you, Jerry Raganese. Pop the tweet up from Jerry. Jerry was like, I don't know how anybody hates the 2-ball. I do not understand the hate for the 2-ball. People calling it gimmicky. It makes the game so much more exciting. My dad had a birthday, just absolute marathon this weekend. I mean, I'm talking Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even Thursday night. And I'm watching the game on my phone. And they're down 4. And I'm kind of like, screw it. Let me put it on the ground, kind of just somewhat pay attention, not really. I see the first one go, and then I see them tie it, and I was like, I can't play cornhole. I got to lock in. I got to go my Chet Holmgren mode. And it just makes the games so exciting. Going back to what Kev said, the 2-ball at the half. I mean, it just makes the games so much fun. I wish every level, for the most part, like adopted it into some degree. Like that's probably my hot lacrosse take. I want it in the college level. I'd love it even at like the high school level. I'd like all fields to kind of be the same. I don't know if it would have to be like what they do in basketball, where it's a little closer up or whatnot. But I'd love to see college adopt it.
I don't know. I like it in the pros. I don't know if I need to see it anywhere else. I
like the same fields. I think it's just very clean to have like the same fields. So that's why I like the
that's
2-pointer.
true. The 2-pointer, I think it changes the way we talk about teams a lot. Like, if not for those 2-pointers by Connor Kelly and Jimmy Freehill that you mentioned to like make it a game at the end, we're talking about the Waterdogs as disaster mode. It's obviously not good that they lost to the Chaos in overtime, but their offense has looked pretty bad for most of the past 2 games. And I think the same thing with the Redwoods. Like, they are among the league leaders in 2-pointers. And like they're at the bottom of the league in terms of their offense and their wins. So would we be talking about the Redwoods as even worse if not for their 2-point success? So it does reshape a lot of the discussion pretty quickly in something that might be a little fluky.
Well, there's scores, there's goals, and like I always kind of say that when like even Redwoods I alluded to in the beginning of the season. It's like, okay, like they're playing they were playing the Waterdogs. The Waterdogs have like 6 one goals, like one pointers, and the Redwoods had like 3, and it's like that's not very like efficient offense. Not always gonna get 3 2-pointers and a half, but the score is 6-6, like or whatever it is. So I totally agree with you on that point.
What are the chances too that crazy 2-pointer was against the Waterdogs again, just like last year with Tucci's Hail Mary? It seems like sometimes the Waterdogs are just always on the wrong side of some of these crazy plays. The curse is still somewhat with them to a degree. Not as bad as last season, but the one team to get the Hail Mary on them again is the Waterdogs.
What do you guys have any takeaways about? No, I wasn't as locked into like kind of, I saw Kirst come out of the box. I saw
he
Taylor
played mostly midfield this
goal.
week.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the text I sent. I think McCardle watched buy or sell last week. He went off. He was their best offensive player this past weekend, and he played attack the whole time.
Look, McCardle led them in points. McCardle's amazing. He's been amazing all year, and I said it last week, and I feel like I was a lone guy at saying put him, CJ Kirst at attack. I thought he has to play attack.
I was with you.
Mitch, you were with me? All right, yeah, because everyone on Twitter was not with me on that. Look, since CJ's been in the lineup playing midfield, he's got 1 point through 2 weeks. And
you're saying start him over the guy that just had 5 points for him.
CJ Kirst has got to play attack. I'm telling you right now. Every other rookie has been able to have serious success playing attack. Look at what Chris Kavanaugh's coming in, Jackson Eicher. And look at Aiden Carroll was playing midfield, wasn't really relevant. They moved him down to attack. He's been exploded ever since playing his natural position. I love Kieran McCardle. I think he's a stud player. But to me, either CJ's got to play his normal position or you almost can't play CJ and you just tell him to come back next year because inserting him in the lineup, it's caused problems the last 2 weeks having him play midfield. This offense looked dynamic. This offense looked amazing before CJ Kirst stepped foot on this team. And it's not CJ Kirst's fault.
So you want the guy who's ruining everything to be the starter at attack.
I think that, like, also, Kogi, the one thing that I think you're very much underappreciating when you're talking about the other rookies is, one, they came straight from the college season. They had a week together. They've been practicing together at least once or twice every single weekend. So they're building chemistry. Like, CJ's been thrown in the middle of a championship pursuit.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not CJ. No, but I'm just saying
I'm not saying it's CJ either.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's CJ by any means either. I'm saying like there's a difference between comparing him to like Aiden Carroll's situation where Aiden Carroll's taking over for like.
Yes, that's fair.
Rambo.
And he's
like,
on a team that is struggling and was struggling, so they needed him to step up. I agree with that. That's a fair point.
I don't think actually, and I don't know, this is just kind of, I'm going to throw this out there. I actually don't think that I think Michael Sowers is kind of trying to take like a back seat in a way to make CJ feel more comfortable, which is actually disrupting the offense even more.
That could be true.
But next year, Kev, does McCardle have to go then? Because CJ's got to play attack next year, correct?
CJ's going to play attack next year, but the next year is
but
next
that's
year.
also, yeah, right, and going, sorry, Kev, to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
I do firmly believe, though, if you want to make the CJ McArdle-Sowers line work next year, you have at least a week and a half, a week at training camp to kind of make this work.
No, 100%. I think it's all fair point. I just think having Kearse down there with Sowers, that's a legitimate nightmare to me as an opposing team trying to defend both of those guys in their natural spots. I just think it's hard, but Mitch, how do you feel on this? You've kind of been the only guy with me who's saying CJ's got to play attack. To me, if he's going to be on the field, I think he's got to play his natural position because we've seen it at midfield through 2 weeks. The whole offense is disrupted, and he's got 1 point.
Well, I think the hardest part is obviously it doesn't help our case with what Kieran obviously just did this past weekend.
But it's not a Kieran McArdle thing. It's not a Kieran McArdle thing. He's a stud.
But then it's also like Kevin Doogs are going to point the question of like, okay, if CJ's going down there, who are you taking out? And
Hoagie, he also wasn't even
six.
Against the Chaos. He wasn't even drawing the pole. He was dodging against short sticks and 1 goal. So it's like, I don't know. It's just like the guy who's not beating the short sticks and scoring goals. Like, let's start him at attack and replace the guy who's
long-term play for sure.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Like,
but do you think McArdle could play well at midfield, or no? You think he's got to totally play attack? Like, do you think he could do a better job at making it work as a midfielder than CJ can?
Really quick, I think that we're at the point like Kieran McArdle right now is better than CJ Kearse. Like,
I agree with that.
He's a top 10 pro of all time, in my opinion. Like, his stats speak for themselves. He's so underrated. Like, and the way that like a casual fan might think of Kieran McArdle and CJ Kearse, they're like, no way. It's like, no, he just right now is, and that's no disrespect to CJ Kearse.
Yeah.
Like, CJ Kearse is not a top 10 professional player of all time right now.
He
has potential to be. Going off that, if you are going to move actually one person through the box, my answer is probably Sowers, weirdly enough.
I said that forever ago and it sounded crazy, but
it is
I think
crazy.
It makes more sense now.
It is crazy.
So is that the solution then, to try and fix this offense to get it back to clicking? Or what?
No, because Michael Sowers is an MVP candidate.
Then how do we fix it? How do we fix the Waterdogs offense?
I think that right now it's just like you have to kind of just keep it right now. Like,
CJ has to win his short stick matchups and score goals. Like, Jack Hanna looked better. You had a little more Jake Taylor this week. I like that. They ended up scoring 14 points. It's not like broken, but
right. Kev, also, I think that because then it's like, okay, let's bring Sowers out of the box, because then you're either gonna have to pull him, and then it opens up like a Jack Hanna. Okay, or do you double pull the midfield, and CJ's now getting the short stick. And last week, like Kev said, and I didn't really watch again as intently as most games, but Kev was like, you could even be the short stick. So that's where I'm kind of at a loss of what to do. And this isn't like a shit on CJ Kearse moment. Like, I think we're all in agreement. Like, he's coming into a very hard situation where he's a rookie. He's trying to probably take a back seat, but like the pros, then the veterans are trying to be like, take a front seat. And this is where my Michael Sowers situation comes in, where I truly think that Sowers is not being as assertive to try to fit for Kearse, where it's like, dude, you are the MVP candidate. Like, and I know he had Rowlett on him, who's one of the best defenders in the world, but I don't know. That's just kind of
the Waterdogs are in a tough spot right now, and we're approaching real quickly. You know, this weekend is huge, where we could see them missing the playoffs once again, and they're probably moving on for Bill Tierney and getting a new head coach if they miss the playoffs. They got 2 games left. They got the Boston Cannons and they got the New York Atlas. Those are 2 tough games to end the year. They need to get this offense figured out fast, or they could miss the playoffs. Given the Whipsnakes get to play the Redwoods, that's a very winnable game. There's 2 tough games for the Waterdogs. So it's not a skate where they can just kind of skate by the rest of the way. They could get lucky potentially if the Atlas clinch the 1 seed and maybe, you know, kind of like last year where they win one at the end. But they got to get a
They do, but so do the Cannons. Like the Cannons.
Yeah, the Cannons Waterdogs game is a must win. The loser's in trouble. Huge trouble.
And you're saying like the chance to miss the playoffs, if we're talking percentages and all that, the Waterdogs still, betting-wise, 3rd best odds to win the championship. And percentage-wise, the PLL put out the playoff percentages. They're 58% chance to make the playoffs. So right now, out of every team that's in the hunt, they do have the best chances to make the playoffs. Obviously, next week's huge. One thing I think that's sneaky they have going for them, which I'm interested to see, is if that last week they're playing the Atlas, who already clinched a spot. Now, does Pressler try, like, will he be having to play for a 1 seed? Will he have the 1 seed locked up? Will he sit Entenmann? Would he be giving Will Mark a chance to play goalie? Would we be seeing like a Connor Schellenberger and 𝐓𝐇𝐄 take a night off? We see this in the NFL all the time. That's something that I'm kind of looking out for.
I love the way you think. That's the ABC game. I hope to goodness all those guys play. Yeah. Now,
you know what? For the ABC game, I want to see Will Mark get his shine.
I feel like though they wouldn't sit any players because.
And here comes the drip game.
No, because then they'd run into the situation where they have the week off league wide, and then they wouldn't play that following week. Like, does Pressler really not want his starters playing for 3 weeks?
yeah, I'm a big.
My God, that's the drip game.
You know, so I actually think that they wouldn't throw the towel in for that game. I think they're going to try and play that straight up.
Either way, CJ's got to lose the black cleats. Got to be a white cleat guy in the PLL.
I think they have just I think he's like, there's just too many nice guys in the team.
Yeah, they're all like, you know, hey, you do it. You do
hey,
it.
like, you're really good. It's like, no, guys, you all, like, exactly what kind of, well, we're going to have the interview in a little bit. Stay tuned. Mitch, please remind him, Xander Dickson. But
Xander
stay
Dickson,
tuned. He kind of talked about what the Atlas, they find success with the ball movement, finding the best shots, and having, like, the 2-quarterback system. It's like, the Waterdogs can kind of have the same success that the Atlas have. They got to make that push now. So that was my biggest takeaway. Got to build Tierney, the goalie situation, and what's going on with the Dogs.
Okay. All right. Well, I think let's pivot to a thing Kevin mentioned earlier. Let's talk MVP talk real quick. I think as the episode's continuing to go, we talked about Team Frog, the new rising team. We might need to talk about Rabel. Imagine if the next PLO team is Team Frog.
I'm seeing a lot of Chicago Chrome.
Could you imagine? That would be unreal.
The Fairfield Frogs. There you go. There you go. Paul, Mike, Fairfield Frogs. Next team, Adam, Mitch.
Saw some Pat McAfee rumors.
Uh-oh, what are we thinking?
We got an Indy team?
Danny Rusty. I have no idea.
Indianapolis team?
Paul Rabel said some potential investors.
All right, Dukes, who should the MVP should have been?
Who should the MVP should have been? All right.
Oh, I love that.
Let me do my order that I always do, which is just 1 through 5. All right, last week I had 5 NT, 4 Brennan, 3 Pat Cav, 2 Sowers, 1 Shelly. Number 4, Liam Entenmann moves up a spot after last week's impressive performance. Number 5, Brendan O'Neill, BO, the Gronkowski of lacrosse. He drops 1, but it wasn't really necessarily anything he did. He obviously had a fantastic performance. It's just the guys above him right now. A full seat, you can't let recency bias ruin your brain.
Yep.
Number 2. Well, let's go number 1. Number 1. Connor Schellenberger. Doesn't move.
Knew it was coming.
Yep.
Number 3. Michael Sowers.
Ooh, he's falling.
Number 2. Patrick Kavanaugh. Number 2. And who should the MVP should have been rankings. Now, Sowers is a product of his. I want to get this out really quick. Sowers is a product of his team.
Ooh.
I think that the MVP is going to go to someone on one of the 2 best teams in the league.
Yeah, that's how MVPs I feel like always work. Is it usually goes to the best player on the best team that year.
Yep.
So I've been prominent on Sowers being the MVP all year, and I thought he was up until the last 2 weeks. But yeah, I think it's completely fair now with how Shelly and Pat have been playing. I think this weekend's going to be pivotal. I think whoever has the better weekend Saturday is going to be in the driver's seat to be the MVP and probably win it. I mean, this is the last time we're going to see Pat Kavanaugh this weekend until the semifinals out in Philadelphia in the playoffs for the PLO, because they're not going to play for a calendar month, which is crazy to think about. But this is the last time we're going to see Pat. So, if Shelly can put on a equal or a little better performance, we won't see Pat again. And then Shelly, does well again in the last regular season game. I think Shelly's going to be the 2025 PLL MVP. He's going to be on the number 1 seed in the East, number 1 team in the league. Eyes on it. He's been a stud all year. I think he's walking away with that trophy.
James, don't want you to forget about somebody, though. Somebody can shoot up these rankings with a great game next week, and that's Liam Entenmann.
Yeah,
I want to jump in
He can.
here.
I just feel it always goes to the offensive guy, though. It always goes to the offensive guy. Most times.
Let's read in that.
Let me jump
9
in here.
times out of 10,
Mitch,
the best offensive player is getting it. It's like the quarterback. Pehlke knows that best.
Mitch skipped right over my takeaway in 1A, and we went straight to Doogs' who should the MVP should have been. But that's okay, because my takeaway...
That's on me. I'll own that.
Yeah, point the thumb. My takeaway is that Liam Entenmann is the MVP of the New York Atlas. And he's the guy that we should be talking about from that team in the MVP conversation. We've been saying all year, oh, he's so consistent. He plays so well. He never has a bad game. But he's just never really the reason why they win. He's a part of the win, but he's not the reason why they win. Well, this past weekend, we finally got a game where against the Maryland Whipsnakes, they needed him to ball out, and he had 20 saves. And I also want to talk about beyond the saves, beyond the save percentage, which was 71%, astronomical, what he did to spark the team's offense. The first 2 goals of the game were scored by the Whips, including 8 seconds off the draw. What did they need? How did they get that first spark? It was a clean save by Liam Entenmann. Perfect clear, hits Max Krevsky in stride, who hits Connor Schellenberger goal. And we talk on the podcast, oh, another goal for Connor Schellenberger. Move him up in the MVP rankings. I know he gets the goal. I know Krevsky gets the assist. But Liam Entenmann had more to do with that offensive sequence than either one of those two. And then I want to fast forward a little bit to halfway through the second quarter when the Atlas offense was struggling to get started. What happened? Liam Entenmann runs the ball up the field, draws a penalty, realizes he has a free play, goes right into the teeth of the defense, takes another hit, draws another penalty. What happens from there? The Atlas get a power play goal. They go on to score, I think, 4-5 straight goals from there. The momentum of the game entirely shifts. Later in the game, he runs the ball over midfield again. I think Liam Entenmann is the heart and soul of this team. You talk about Schellenberger, you talk about 𝐓𝐇𝐄. We always have that in the background. Yeah, they're crazy point producers playing for this awesome offense, but sometimes they just disappear. Sometimes they're not as assertive as we want. We want more 𝐓𝐇𝐄, more Connor Schellenberger. Liam Entenmann is that guy that shows up week in, week out. I think he's the heartbeat. He's the MVP.
I don't completely disagree. Yeah, I don't completely disagree. I think, I personally think that Schellenberger's just like ignited this offense, kind of carried the offensive load when people haven't. But I was getting into an argument that was civil on Twitter, which was you don't really see all the time with Hayden Lewis. And he was saying it's Blaze. And I think that we kind of, as lacrosse fans, look at save percentage too much. And you don't look at how much Liam really bails his team out. Like, there's games where
constantly bails him out.
He gives up 16 goals, and you're like, wow, that's not a good game for Liam Entenmann. But it's like, he has 17 saves. If you have 17 saves, you shouldn't be giving up 16 goals. That means that you're getting absolutely shelled. And that's a problem to the defense, not the goaltender. And I think that, like, when you're talking about he hasn't had that game, I actually am going to push back, and you were just giving him so many compliments, where I'm saying, like, he bails him out more than anybody else really in the league. And, like, this is nothing to take away from Blaze and his performances this year. It's just, I don't think that Liam really gets the credit for bailing out this defense as much as he has. And the defense is improving every week. But seriously, some of those wins that I don't think they'd have without Liam.
No, that's 100% true. He bails them out so many times. I think we talked about this, Dukes. You mentioned the concern when we were in Albany about the Atlas defense, and we talked about it the last couple weeks about how he's really bailed them out in so many situations. I think there is a chance that Liam moves up the MVP ladder. Is he maybe the MVP of that team? Yeah, he could be. Is he going to win the MVP? Most likely not. I think it would take a catastrophic collapse for it not to be either Sauer, Shelly, or Pat Cavanaugh. Because I think it's always going to go to the offensive guy. It's always going to go to the leader. If Shelly has a statement game this weekend or Pat Cavanaugh, they're going to be sitting pretty in the driver's seat as we head to the last weekend of the season on getting that MVP award. Whether they truly are the MVP, whether Shelly truly is the MVP of the Atlas or not, or it is Entenmann, it's probably going to go to Connor regardless, just because he is the offensive player, he is the points guy, and that's kind of how this thing works.
So you're just ruling out Brennan O'Neill? He's like the hottest player in the league right now.
I'm not ruling anyone out. I think whoever has the biggest game this weekend on that ABC.
You said it would take a catastrophic drop-off or something for any of those three to not win.
I was more so pertaining to Entenmann sliding in to get it, meaning like if it was those three against Entenmann, I think Entenmann would only get it if those guys just didn't show up the next couple weeks.
I don't know.
I think Brennan can climb. I think Brennan's got a while to go, though. I think if someone's going to get it on the Outlaws right now, I think it's going to be Pat, personally.
Brennan also like Brennan. Yeah, it's a full
season.
award.
It's got to be full season.
Recency bias. Yeah, like since All-Star break, he probably has been the best player in the league. But like Pat's putting up points just as much or even
Pat
more.
had 6 points too this weekend, same as Brennan. Even though Brennan obviously stood out like a stud, Pat still had a casual, quiet 6 points himself.
And I do think that one thing that's so slept on when you look at Pat's advanced stats is how many assist opportunities he's had that people just aren't able to finish. Like his point total could be way higher if those first couple weeks people finish their opportunities. Now looking at the current MVP odds, Michael Sowers and Pat Cav are the two favorites at plus 300. Connor Schellenberger plus 350. Liam Ensman plus 450. So they really think Liam Ensman is firmly in this race. Jeff Teets plus 1,200. I would imagine that.
So no Brennan.
I'd imagine Brennan is right around there, plus 1,200, plus 1,500. Is that right, Corey?
Yeah.
Yep, he's also plus 1,200.
So you know what Corey is? Corey is not a BO guy. Corey's like, we're gonna leave him
put Teeter
off.
in there, yeah.
yeah. So we know where he is. That Canadian ass. We like our guys from Long Island, Corey. But I do think that Brennan's like. I think two things really quick going off MVP. Brennan has a name to him that if he does have a really good performance, I think voters will cling on to the name and like the storyline attached to it. I just think that, fans and media like stories. But Liam, too, has a story that I think is very slept on. A lot of people think that he deserves it to Wharton. A lot of people have been always talking about him as the best goalie or the next Blaze Reardon, the next best goalie in the world. So it's not like we're just talking about a Logan McNaney, where I actually think if Logan McNaney had the same stats as Liam Ensman, would not be this high up.
Yeah, I just think it's crazy if you're telling me an Outlaws player is going to win MVP and it's not Pat Cavanaugh, just based on the whole year's body of work. I feel like that would be crazy.
I think Brennan's firmly in the race.
No, he's firmly in it.
I do think Pat's been the best player, though.
Yeah. I feel like that would just be wild if an Outlaws player won MVP and it wasn't Pat Cavanaugh.
Right.
Just based on this year.
Can I give a shout out to a player on the Outlaws really quick if we're doing free shouts?
Yeah. Are you shouting Dalton Young out? Because that guy's been a stud.
Nope.
He's been a stud for them. Underrated. Dalton Young, underrated. Who you got? One of the most underrated players in the Outlaws team this year. He's not the name guy. He's not the Virginia.
Don't
guy.
Forget about it.
He's been great.
Nova.
Duke, sorry, took your spotlight.
Nova.
I do think Jonathan Donville, too. I think Adam Lamberti, I might have seen some tweets about the off-ball, like setting picks for Brendan O'Neill, which I thought was a great pickup. I think that always made sense. No, I think it's a guy that I kind of gave shit to last year. I think Jake Pacino is going to win LSM of the year.
Leads all polls and points.
So not only that, he's just playing with more confidence and he's playing good body-to-body defense. One thing that I was really nervous about last year was the talk and the hype about him going into the year, where people were like already calling him like the greatest LSM of all time. Like at All-Star Weekend, I talked to him and I was like, look, like I said, like, and I completely cleared the air with him. And I was like, you're having a fucking great year, and I think it's very low key. And I think he's kind of had. Sorry, let me lock in really quick. He's had even a stronger year post All-Star break.
Yeah,
I think he's kind of had that Brennan for the defensive end.
Yeah,
and he's been playing phenomenal, and he's getting his offensive caliber back, which even makes him more dangerous in the league. So I think that shout out to Jake Pacino. He's playing like LSM of the year. He played amazing in Chicago.
That's Miles' boy.
No, he's not. Miles, they get the follow back. I can still hear Miles chanting his name.
Jake's a man. He's been great. We should get him on the pod sometime. I know he's TLN friendly.
100% get him on.
And he is playing awesome. He's gotten to do more on the wings. He's running more transition this year, and he's putting up a ton of points. And I actually think he's got 9 points. I think I would have to double check this. I think the record for a long pole is Michael Earhart, either 13 or 14. So he's in the range to break the record for
Kev, does the whole season count, or is it just regular season with the
just
points?
regular season?
All right, so he's got.
So he'd have to.
He's
ball
got 2
out.
games left. Yeah.
Yeah, but
and they have all.
He's in striking distance.
Yeah. That ain't happening.
Yeah.
Casino.
Where did Mike Earhart go to school, Mitch?
Maryland.
Where do you go to high school, dude? We're talking high school. I know you like the high schoolers. High school.
Garden City.
Chaminade.
See here, like last week, Mitch, he says his neighbor town over last week.
Yeah. Who
Matt
was
Dunn, my neighbor.
Who, me?
Yeah, you said.
Who's your neighbor last week?
Tim Muller.
It wasn't Matt.
He's my neighbor.
Oh, Tim Muller.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Muller, yeah.
Tim
Want me to
Muller.
walk to his house?
Yeah.
His neighbor.
Yeah, right. He's over there. Yeah, played
Yeah,
Grove Park.
yeah.
with
I'm
him.
gonna ask if he knows who.
Yeah, I didn't have to like. I didn't have to take a
Doogs?
carriage.
Who's
And, I
Doogs?
didn't have to take a carriage and wagon to go hang out with my neighbors like you and Nova.
No, our town's actually very similar to Garden City. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
I can't
no
wait to
doubt.
I can't wait to raise a family there. My kids and Duke's kids are gonna be best friends. It's gonna be great.
Holy
Buy or sell next segment.
Dukes,
I hate when you do
Dukes,
that.
would Mitch last on Long Island? Would Mitch last on Long Island?
Yes,
Oh,
I'm Italian.
Oh my, yeah, maybe.
True. Good point.
Dude, was there any GCG at the Mitchell Pehlke Lacrosse Experience?
There was a lot of Garden City grit at the Mitchell Pehlke Lacrosse Experience. Actually, they probably were some of the best campers.
No shit.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Shocker.
So
That's
I just
what
wanna
we
put
do.
that out there.
I've been saying that, dude.
And it's kind of crazy because I've yet to see a Riverside kid at one of the camps, so we're going to get that
What?
right here soon.
Wow.
Is it a real
Wow.
high school?
Wow.
It's not a real school.
And Deuce, let's stick with you.
I mean, Mitch was in the first senior class at Riverside, so first graduating
And then they
class was
folded.
Mitchell Pehlke. hitting
I got
the
2
front.
rings. I got 2 rings. Don't forget about it, fellas.
The C division
Actually,
team
I got-
at War
I
at the
got 3
Shore was
rings.
your high
I
school
got 3 rings.
competition.
All right, Dukes.
Wow.
All right, Mitch.
Buy or sell Denver versus New York on Saturday on ABC is a championship preview. Buy or sell?
I'm selling it. Is it a preview of what could happen? Because it never ends up what you think it is.
Dukes,
That's my take.
you read my mind to
Metaphor
a
for
T.
life.
And I
What
think
happens
they're the
if
two
you're 5
best.
years older than us.
No, wait, hold on. I'm curious.
Dude, you grew up in Virginia. You're probably like low key 28.
Everyone next week, bring your birth certificate to the show.
Yeah.
Dukes, are you saying that it could be that matchup, but the outcome won't be of the preview, or are you saying different teams?
Like,
Yes,
of
what are
course,
you
it's a
saying?
championship preview. Like, these are the two best teams in the PLL. Now, but I do not think the championship will be these two teams. Why?
Really? Okay.
Why? Because I just always think that like it never goes down how you want it to. There's still 2 weeks left, like in the regular season. The shakeup that could happen, the matchups that could happen in the playoffs, what if the Atlas get the Dogs and the Dogs start like clicking and they figure out that combination that works for them? I don't know.
Yeah.
So you think, okay.
Yeah.
You're selling this?
I'm selling it. Like, and this isn't me being like they're not the two best teams. All year long, you could be the best team in the PLL. That does not mean that you'll make the championship game. We saw that last year with the Atlas losing to the Whipsticks.
That's
Yeah,
so true. Yeah.
Yeah, and no one saw that coming. Correct. I don't know. I'm buying it. I think that these two teams have really separated themselves. I guess you're right. There could be like a whipsnake situation that comes through. If there is a team, who do you think the team is?
Chaos. Crazy
That's what
upset
I
in
was
the
going to say.
semis.
I have the
Chaos.
weirdest feeling
I'll tell you
about
what.
the chaos.
I'm
I
selling
hate to
this
say it, too.
championship. I'm selling this championship. I don't think it'll be Denver, New York. I do think one of them will be in it, but I don't think that'll be the championship game. But I'll tell you what, if there's one team you do not want to see in the playoffs, it's going to be the Chaos. And watch, there's going to be some crazy way after all this crap that was talked all years about how bad the Chaos is that they sneak their way into the championship game. Somehow
Yeah.
they're lurking in the semifinals, Mitch.
Can't kill the Chaos.
You
Said
can't
it
kill
before,
them.
Say it again. But I'm going to be on a different spectrum here. Can't kill the Whipsnakes. Can't do
Oh,
it.
my God.
Dukes.
Mitch.
Can't do it.
Mitch.
Don't.
I
Can't count on the Waterdogs.
You really can't. I mean, we talked to Xander. You guys heard it, or you're going to hear it.
There's
here
a
soon.
team I'm taking.
You can't count on any team.
I was going to say Chaos. There's a team I'm taking to be in the championship game that no one wants to talk about. If I want, I'll take the stock. I'm taking the Cannons. Give me the Cannons in the East, coming
Yeah.
out of the East.
So we just picked every team. That's awesome.
I'll actually tell you straight up.
Give me the Cannons coming out of the East.
I'm sticking with my. I did bet the Outlaws as soon as Pat Cav got picked up, but my 2 championship picks from the beginning of the season that I was like in between, I'm sticking with. I think it really the Cannons or the Waterdogs. I do think they figure it out.
One of those two teams will figure it out. I feel like they almost have to.
Right, like it's just one of these things where like you can't keep getting away with this. Like they just have to figure it out. And like going back to even what Hoagie was saying, like you have CJ Kirst. Like he hasn't played in a month. I know that like he's had like different responsibilities, like traveling around the country, like with like the ESPYs, the Tewaaraton, broken wrist. He wasn't playing for a month. Maybe like he probably just started picking up a stick 3 weeks ago. So, and I know he's probably just it's like riding.
Yeah,
a bike,
once the
but
rust
still.
comes off a little bit, Dukes. Yeah, once he gets more comfortable too.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so it gets into lacrosse shape again. Like, I don't know.
How crazy would it be?
Wind sprints.
Atlas Chaos Championship would be crazy. That would be
Yeah.
crazy. Or an Outlaws Cannons. That could be a sick championship too.
No, I still want Outlaws Atlas.
No, yeah, I would love to have that
Yeah, it
happen.
would be
But based
sick.
on how I see the PLL games,
Anything
we know
other
the
than that would
PLL,
be
the number one seeds on both sides are not making the championship.
Dude,
It's not
Outlaws-
happening.
Outlaws Cannons would rock.
That would be a
Because
sick championship game.
I
Sick
think that would be
championship game.
sick. I think any of the East combinations with the Outlaws would be sick because even the Cannons, like that game at Fairfield was awesome. They
Yep.
probably feel cheated a little bit in that game. The Waterdogs have the chippiness to them. They got like
Waterdogs,
the courier-
Outlaws?
Yeah. Like I kind of like that. I think there'd be a fight in that game. So I like
And we'll
that.
be there live
I'm a
during the Mitch
fan.
Pehlke Lacrosse
I'm a
Show.
fan. Mitch is
Stay
gonna be
tuned.
hotting. Mitch
Why?
is gonna be hot. You'll see a
I like to
fight.
fight.
You'll be like, oh, you dropped the gloves this weekend and more at the shore. You and Nestler.
No.
We actually did see a couple fights
couple
go
late
down.
hits on the Pelkinator, but I'm a nice guy. People forget.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
That's right.
No, Mitch-
That's all. I was wondering why he was asking me to come.
Mitch mic'd himself
He
up.
needs the enforcer.
Mitch mic'd himself up so
The
no one would
enforcer.
hit him because they know not to hit Mitch when the cameras are rolling. So
We got brick
Good
wall
play.
Mitchie over there.
good play by Mitch. Mic'd up.
The mic'd up culture. Buy or sell, next one. You ready?
Yeah. Can you read?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Buy or sell. Danny Logan will be the only end of the year award winner. Repeat.
Can you refresh
James?
our memory on who the
Yeah, do you have the
award
list?
winners
Do you have
for
the
last
Let's
list?
year?
go down the list. I got it. I don't even have the notes on it. I'm just going to say
I
it
know.
off the top
You
of
know
my
off
head.
the top of your
Do you
head.
have the list?
2024 potential or positional awards.
Yep.
Teat, one attack. Midfield was Schreiber. Defense, Dunn. Goalie, Blaze. Face-off, Baptiste. LSM, Carpenter. SSDM, Danny Logan. Will
I'm selling
Danny
it.
Logan be the... Ooh, okay. Wow.
I'm buying
Talk
it.
to us, Kevin.
I'm buying it.
I think there's still a very good chance that either Blaze or Dunn could win goalie or defensive player of the year. The rest of them, I think they're out.
Yeah, Teet's out. Schreiber's out. Baptiste is out. Carp's out.
You think Baptiste is officially out?
Nards is going to win this.
He was the one where I was kind of like 50-50.
Nardell, I mean, I love Trevor, and he's just a stud. He's been doing it for years. But to me, like, Nardell has been shafted in years past on some of these awards. Nardell was over 50% in both matchups this year and leads the league in percentage. I find it hard to believe how is Joe Nardella not the face-off player of the year in 2025. Just
Yeah.
you lead Nardella leads the league in percentage overall, and he won the war in both of the matchups in the regular season this year. I feel like how does it not go to Joe? You know, like just looking, I feel like if it doesn't go to Joe, then that's crazy. So to me, I think the most debatable one is Blaze, even though I think Entenmann obviously is going to be right up there. But Blaze has had so many 20-plus save games this year that, you know, if he does it again to end the year a couple times, you know, Blaze is Blaze. He's the top dog. He can play himself into getting that one. So that would be the one that I would go on the most. I do agree with Kev, though. Dunn, there's a case there, but I think Blaze is probably the one that could mess up this one if we're saying just buy or sell it. But, yeah, I mean, looking at the list, Danny Logan, I think is going to be the only one who's going to repeat.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think you're probably right. That's what could happen. I think probably Hosek would be my pick for defense if the season were to end right now. And, yeah, I've been on the record with Liam Entenmann, so he would be my goalie. So I know I said I'm selling, but I could see this unfolding the exact way.
Who would be defensive player of the year right now?
Hosek would be my pick.
I mean, you could make a case for Dunn. You really could. I think the only thing that's holding him back is you just forget about him because the whips have kind of been on the back burner all year.
Yeah, and even last year, like Dunn wasn't like racking up caused turnovers and ground balls. It was kind of like the Whips had the best defense and they were good. Like the Whips still have the best defense, or at least they did heading into this week. I can't imagine the Atlas scoring 11 goals.
We need Joe Keegs to put on the nerd alert and like find out a way, because the thing that I think gets underappreciated about the Whipstake's defense, I don't really like only looking at caused turnovers for like a defensive player of the year award. It's
Yeah.
because I never like growing up. Some like Garden City has like good defenses. Like do not like play the body, and I think Matt Dunn is like that type of defender who can like absolutely erase someone without having to like do the calls turnovers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
is there a way we can find out like points allowed? Like how is it like? How
Joe
could
has stats like that are like closest defender when a goal is scored. Like who
right?
has the
You
best?
guess yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're
Do you
not
think
like
we could ever
public
see
on
a short stick defender win the Defensive Player of the Year award?
I think it should be in the consideration. If, a few weeks ago we were talking about Paul Rabel was saying Danny Logan MVP. Like, defensive
best player in the
year is on
world.
step.
Best player in the world.
Best
too.
player in the world. Yeah. I mean,
if they win the championship, they're still.
He should be in the
They're
conversation.
still undefeated.
They're
when
undefeated.
Danny Logan,
They're undefeated when he plays a
talking
full
about
game.
𝐓𝐇𝐄 exactly. 𝐓𝐇𝐄 tweeted when Logan plays a full 48. Atlas are undefeated.
I want you guys to know I'm buying this. As a kid that might not have picked the right school out of college, but grew up in the great city of Columbus.
You didn't pick the right school out of college?
We got ties. Because we got ties. We got, he did some time in Columbus. I did some time in Columbus. We got ties.
What ties?
You say it like it's jail.
Yeah.
Oh, Danny Logan.
Yes.
Right. Yes, I forgot that he grew up in Columbus and Nick Myers didn't recruit him. Gotcha.
Yeah. No, he might have. I don't know, but he picked the other school.
I just like the narrative.
Yeah.
The narrative is
I'm picking the buy here. But I like this. I like this action actually.
I'm buying too.
You're buying too. Okay. Buy or sell. Last one. Cannons will get an opportunity to defend their Champ Series title.
Ooh.
We'll give you guys some probability.
Yeah.
2026 Lexus Champ Series. New York, Denver clinched. Philly, 58%. Boston, 42%. Carolina, 40%. Maryland, 37%. California, 21%. Utah, 0.2%.
I think the Cannons
chaos.
Cannons are getting in the Champ Series. I'm buying this.
But fun fact, Chaos has never made the Champ Series.
They would be fun.
Yeah.
They would be fun in the Champ Series.
It would be interesting.
Yeah.
I know some of us. I know Alex Poole would love to see what uniforms they would wear. That's interesting, though, those statistics, those percentages, because they don't match the standings currently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, Kevin.
Are 7th overall.
I wonder.
Yeah. So they're going to have to leap some people.
Do we know if we have any clinching scenarios this weekend or not, or there's probably nothing on the line? I think the Philadelphia-Boston winner is in the driver's seat they're probably going to be in the 90s to make it, I would assume.
Yeah,
I'm kind of buying that too. I think they go 2-0 at their homecoming.
Oh, good point. That's probably.
I think Boston's going to be in. I think Boston's a sleeping giant there. Lost 3 straight. They didn't play last week on the bye. People forgot about them. I love this Cannons team. I mean, they came with a goal away in overtime, or a goal away. Yeah, not in overtime, but a goal away from beating the Outlaws that everyone's loved all year long 2 weeks ago. People forget that. I mean, I think this Cannons team they've been waiting for an opportunity like this. They're under the radar. They got a big game against Philly. If they can get that win to get back on track, then they end the season with their homecoming in front of their fans in Boston, honoring their 25th season as the Boston Cannons. I know they're going to have all the alumni there. I saw they posted that last week, all the old studs from back in the Cannons days. They're on the come up. Don't let the Cannons get hot. Don't let them get hot. That's all I got to say.
Wow. All right, so Hoagie, you're buying. Kevin, you're.
I'm gonna buy it as well. They'll get their chance.
I'm buying too. It's kind of one of those teams as a vet. You can't count them out. I hate to say it.
So wait, we're all buying that Boston gets in.
Wait, let me do the
Who
math
do we
real
think the
quick.
4th team would be then? Who's your pick?
I think
for
the
the 4th
Chaos
team?
are going to get in. I think the Chaos are going to get in. They're going to beat the Archers last week to get in.
So you think the Chaos just because they have a 3%? Dogs.
I think the Dogs. I think the Dogs are going 0-2. They're ending the season 0-2, and they're finishing 4-6. They're going to be on the cusp.
Yeah.
I think they lose to Boston.
You like
I think
that,
they
Dukes?
lose to New York. I think Carolina slides in. I think it's going to be New York, Denver,
You like
Boston,
that?
Carolina Champ Series.
I mean, he's talking like it's a matter of fact. Like, this is done.
It's already in the books.
I'm not saying it's in the books.
We got the knees scraped for CJ Kurz, but we're saying we're going 0-2.
No, that's why I think it's going to go down, and then their fate's going to be determined by Maryland.
I do wonder though.
No, that's gonna go.
I will say this: if they do lose next week with CJ Kurst, like coming out of the box or doing the mix and match, just put him down low, and just be like,
now we put him down there.
Yeah.
Well,
Dudes.
Now we put him
you're
down
done.
there.
You go.
See that?
Yeah, but salary's out of the
Guy
box.
changes up.
I don't change.
It's okay.
Dudes, it's just like you said. Sometimes you need the quarterback change. Put CJ down in
all right.
attack.
You still want McElroy in cage for the
Ignite the new fire, baby. Ignite the new fire.
Never owned up to it.
Ignite the new fire.
Well, Champ Series is going to be electric. We would probably be on site there in 2026, so stay tuned for that. Mark your calendars. Buy your tickets, ladies and gents. We got some big lacrosse, though, this Friday and Saturday. Dukes, you want to run us through the game lineup we got?
Yes, sir. All right, Friday night on ESPN Plus. Hoagie, do not tell anybody ESPN. They'll come for you on Twitter.
Yep.
Both games on ESPN Plus tonight on Friday night. Chaos Outlaws, game number 1. Waterdogs Cannons, game number 2. You want to go over those? Or want me to tell you the Saturday schedule, too?
Give me the
PLS. What's the first thing comes to mind?
I don't even care about your opinion. I'm giving you Saturday schedule.
Give me the PLS Saturday Night Lacrosse lineup.
ABC! Atlas Outlaws in Denver. The house that Baptiste built. 1 p.m. And then we got PLL Saturday Night Lacrosse on ESPN Plus. The Snakes versus the 𝐓𝐇𝐄 𝐋𝐂𝐑𝐿.
I better see that meme 5 minutes
Wait,
before
did you just
face-off.
make that nickname up? I never heard that. That was pretty good.
What? The 𝐓𝐇𝐄
I don't know.
𝐋𝐂𝐑𝐿?
The 𝐓𝐇𝐄
Dukes, I better see that meme 5 minutes before face-off, 1 p.m. at you with the beer glued to your TV, watching that game that you posted.
Yeah.
Love that.
Love that photo.
Love that. I gave it a
Mitch,
like
you even
and
know what I'm
retweet.
talking about, you boomer?
No idea.
He's got no idea. Yeah.
He's too busy doing TikTok dances.
Me and Hooverville.
This weekend's games are awesome. I think
big.
sneaky game Friday with that Chaos Outlaws game first. The Outlaws got 2 tough draws to have to play the Chaos and the Atlas back to back. Can the Chaos kind of tire them out and get them a little tired legs for that massive matchup? It's an 8 p.m. and a 1 p.m., so that's a quick turnaround recovery-wise. That game ends at 10. They're already playing soon the next day. Like I said before, that Waterdogs Cannons game is massive. Waterdogs dropped 2 straight. Cannons have dropped 3 straight. Both those teams need a win badly. We're at the end. We have 2 weeks left of the season at this point. It sounds crazy that we're talking about it. Season's flown by. Both those teams need that win incredibly bad. The loser is in serious trouble, especially if the Whip Snakes can beat the Redwoods with the score differential. Dukes talks about it all the time. The goal differential, we talked about it. The Whip Snakes still have that edge on the goal differential right now. If the Whip Snakes can win against the Redwoods, the loser of that Waterdogs Chaos game is going to be sweating it out headed into the last weekend of the season. I'll tell you that. Awesome weekend of lacrosse. It's going to be awesome out in Denver. Mitch, we played at Peter Barnes Stadium. It's kind of a small venue, very intimate.
Love it.
The Outlaws fans are crazy. They're going to pack that thing out. That's going to be a sick environment. I can't wait.
You like that turf?
We didn't. That turf wasn't there when we played.
Yeah, it wasn't there when we played, but I'm a big fan of it. I actually like it.
Elite. I love it.
I think it's cool to go
I think it's
different.
kinda
I think
swaggy.
it's cool to do a turf
Yeah.
like that.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I stumbled upon, if anybody out there is interested, look at the 2021 Denver starting lineup and ask yourself, how the hell did this team not win a championship or make a Final Four? It is.
Did they even make the tournament? Did they make the tournament? They didn't even make the tournament.
Yeah, they did. They lost to Loyola.
Oh, that was that year. Okay.
Schaefer
When they lost
it
at
was
home.
One of the best across games ever.
Don't forget, too, they had T.D. Erlin on that team, too, for the second half of the year.
Oh, that's right.
The face-off guys
What a
was T.D.
pull.
and Stathakis. Who would they have? They had Ethan Walker. Was Ethan Walker still on that team?
I think so.
Ethan Walker, Jack Hanna. Who else? Who was that? The goalie was solid, too. Was it Reddy? Was it Jack Reddy? Who was the goalie?
I'm looking up.
Danny Logan. Yeah, that Denver team was stacked. Dang, the more you think about it, too.
Stathakis. I mean, they had like 2 starting. I forget. Whatever. I'll pull it up one time. I think that I should have.
I can't believe I didn't have it in the show prep.
No, this was. I know this was something that was unhinged. I just saw it and I was like, I didn't fucking bookmark it. It was
Tierney
so good.
coaching them.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'll find it. If I find it, I'll give it to you. I'll put it in.
Well, I think to wrap up, obviously, this
Silstrup.
next weekend's Silstrup.
No, they had
JJ.
Silstrup too.
Yeah, they did. They did. Kev, leave the fans off with their biggest piece of advice heading into this weekend's games before we interview the Slim Reap.
You should cancel all of your plans. If you're not subscribed to ESPN Plus, do it, and then park your butt on the couch and watch all 4 games this weekend.
Just like that. Let's get into Slim Reaper.
Wait.
What?
Can I read it off? Can I read it off? It's insane. It's insane.
Yeah,
I'm in 3. The amount of pros. And this is just because I think it's one of the most forgotten teams.
Okay.
Michael Lampert, Jack Hanna, J.J. Silstrop, Alex Simmons, and then you had A.J. Mercurio, Danny Logan. Kyle Smith, I believe, played in the PLL. Did he? Maybe
I don't know.
Not. Maybe not. Jack DiBenedetto, Jackson Morrill. Ted Sullivan probably could have. Lucas Kotler, national champion. Alex Sathakis. Colin Squires.
Squires, that's an underrated one.
This
yeah.
was a PLL team. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Malik Sparrow.
Oh, he hacked me up.
Ethan
Oh, my
Walker.
God.
Yeah. Wow.
Forgot about Malik
T.D.
Sparrow.
Erlin. I mean, that's...
Wow.
You see them like low-key loaded.
Yeah.
And how did that come across to you?
I think that I was watching actually a TLN clip of Jack Hanna getting in the fight at the Ethan Walker, and I was like trying to figure out who he was fighting, and just trying to like put the math together. And then I stumbled upon the starting lineup, and I was like, "Oh, this is crazy." And then I went through it, and I was like, "Wait, like 9 out of 10 of these guys played in the PLL. Ted Sullivan, I think, got picked up, probably could have, and just chose not to. It was just like one of those revelations that I was like, how the hell did this team not make the Final Four? Like, how did they lose to Loyola? But
And I forgot Alex Simmons. He was a dog. And is incredibly good in the NLL.
Yep. For those that say that we don't talk about the NLL, there's your NLL shout out. Yeah.
And now into the interview with Slim Reaper. And now we welcome Xander Dickson. Clap it up to Slim Reap. Back on the show. What's the second, third time? What do we got?
I think this is number 2.
Number two.
Wow.
Mainstay. Have you been watching since episode 1? I think we had Shelly on episode 1. Have you been a long-time subscriber?
I've been watching. Yeah, you got Shelly, you had Trev last week. I've been keeping an eye on you guys.
Okay. We're
You
big
just
fans of
tested
the
him and he
Atlas on the
dunked
show.
on you. Yeah.
We're big fans of the Atlas on the show. Obviously, you guys are rolling. That makes us talking about you guys. We're rolling 6-2, number 1 in the East. How's the season been so far?
It's been good. You know, we last year didn't end the way we wanted, and this year we kind of came out a little slow too. So it was kind of just sort of regrouping after that first weekend. And we got by the Chaos barely by 1 or 2 goals, and then we lost to the Cannons, I think. And I think just regrouping as a whole and just sort of not getting spooked and not getting freaked out and coming together as a unit, and then sort of putting on some good lacrosse down the stretch. It's been good going into the playoffs soon.
100%. Obviously, playing the Outlaws, you know, we as the media side are talking about potentially a championship PLO preview. Are we thinking that potentially on your side too?
We'll see how everything shakes out. But, yeah, I mean, we're watching their games. They look good. They're first in the West, first in the East. So, yeah, we don't know if this is the only time we'll see them, but we just got to take care of it this Saturday.
I like that. I was on the Atlas Instagram earlier today. It was a couple hours ago. They posted Shelly talking about you and how you feed him or how he feeds you and you finish. They put some romantic music behind it. It's kind of what we dream about. Obviously, the connection you guys have had it back in Charlottesville. But talk to us about that connection on the field, then take us into a deep dive off the field.
Yeah, I mean, on the field, it's what you guys see. We've been playing together for, like 5-6 years now. So the chemistry's just been built for years, like long before the PLL. I think Sean Corwin did a really good job of understanding people's strong suits and realizing that we'd play well together, similar to like how Matt Moore and Laviano did it before us. So we've been doing the things you're seeing in these PLL games in college a lot. So I think the chemistry is just ingrained in us almost at this point. We know where each other likes to be and where each other likes to feed or finish from. Then off the field, it's the same thing. It's, you know, we're roommates every weekend. We're together. We're talking 24/7, right? We're on the phone during the week about scouting other teams or anything that might be. So yeah, we've been together for a long, long time now.
I like that. Off the field, obviously chatting a ton. You guys have kind of similar personalities. I've filmed with both of you guys plenty of times. Is there anything like we don't know about Shelly? I feel like he's just such, I know ball and I love ball and that's it.
Yeah. No, you kind of got him down to a T right there. Likes to shop, likes to get good clothes. Every weekend we go, he'll tell me where I can have or something. So I think that's his little hidden vice. But no, the guy loves ball.
I like that. You and even Shelly does as well. You guys praise Kerwin. I think he's a great coach as well. We're going to get him on the pod here soon. Obviously, you made the transfer to Dartmouth. Do we think Dartmouth is a serious contender in a couple years, just with how wizardry he is in the sport of lacrosse?
Yeah, I'd say yes if he went to any school in D1, honestly. I think the guy's as smart as it gets with X's and O's and just the sport as a whole and understanding what defenses are trying to do. So, yeah, I think you saw it this year. They took down Penn, where I was watching that game, watched a lot of the Dartmouth games. Like, they're just getting better and better, and I think he's now pulling in some bigger recruits, having Kerwin there. I think he's got a big guy coming out of Loomis Chafee, right?
Yeah.
So his classes are getting better and better. And I think if he gets the guys he wants, like he's a very smart recruiter too. He's not just trying to get like whoever's ranked 1 through 10, right? Obviously that'd be nice, but he's picking guys strategically. So I think he's gonna have a lot to work with soon. I think he's gonna have his pieces ready to go.
Yeah, 100%. Dukes, I'll let you take this other one away with Shelly.
Yeah, I got a two-parter because I just thought of one as this. Shelly obviously just got named assistant coach at Virginia. Virginia's coming off a not Virginia year, pretty big disappointment just given the standard that Lars has built at Virginia. What will he bring to the Cavaliers coaching staff? What can McCabe expect of having him as a player and now as the assistant coach?
I think so much. I think it's twofold. Mainly, I think first it's just having Shelly back on campus, right, back around the guys as the name of the figure in the sport he is. I think that helps recruits a lot, right? And having a younger guy like when we were been recruited, it was Kip Turner was kind of that younger guy for us. You could kind of talk with and ask the real questions that you might have not wanted to ask the head coach on your official visit, right? He was trying to go to Kipper and be like, "What's the deal here?" And he was just a cool young guy to be around. I think Shelly offers them that too. And then IQ, right? He's pretty much Sean Kerwin, he's another Sean Kerwin, right? He knows what Kerwin ran, he knows how Kerwin thinks, and same with Cassis, right? He knows their plays and what they want. I think he just, even in our huddles, he says he's similar to Jeff, where they say things and it's in a huddle for about a game, and that's things that he didn't really think about. And I think Shelly's IQ is just going to help them as an offense as a whole.
Well, that segues perfectly because Jeff obviously MVP last year, one of the best players in the world. Shelly, right now, he's been probably the most consistent player for the Atlas. Week in, week out, Jeff goes through games where he goes 1, then he'll get 8, but Shelly consistently getting that 3-4 points per game. I need to ask you, did you have to almost remind him 3 games in, dude, you're just as good as Jeff, you are one of the best players in the world? Because the new confidence that he kind of has this year compared to his rookie year, he has a subtle swagger, I think, to him, but he has this confidence about him this year. Where did that come from? Was it you hyping him up? Is it coming from the coaching staff, or has it just always been there but we haven't seen it?
No, that's a great question. I totally agree. I think, first of all, last year he was more hurt than people noticed. And I'm not going to, he had a great season, but he was playing. Sure. That hammy was rough, and he had surgery in the offseason. So I think being back to full health gives him confidence in his own right. And then I'll give a shout out also to Gavin Adler. I think him and I both were on Shelly, hey, you are one of the best in the world. Take the ball. I think he came into an offense with Jeff T, the MVP, right? And he didn't really know where he fit in or didn't want to take too many reps if Jeff wanted the ball. And we were hey, you guys could be what they are now, right? Which is this amazing dual quarterback system. And we're take the ball whenever you want it. You're Connor Schellenberg, do what you do. And I think he sort of, as he got more comfortable with the ball on his stick, he realized that he was alleviating some of the pressure from Jeff, right? And Jeff's getting the number one pull. Whoever's the number one pull, right? The other can attack the 2 pull, right? Mm-hmm. So I think he's playing a lot more confidence and has that swagger. I think he's going to the net more, right? And I think you're seeing back to what he was before he got rid of some injuries last year. And I think it's just sick to watch. And also, I think his shooting percentage is a big point that people aren't talking about enough. The guy's shooting 45%. It's crazy. That's really hard. That's what an inside guy should be doing maybe, but he's doing it as an outside on the run shooter. So I think he's just smart and composed and strategic out there, and he's playing some of his best ball.
That was probably the biggest compliment Kev gave him early on. You were he doesn't seem he should be slinging it more. He's not taking as many shots as he should, but he's making every shot that he takes. Yeah. Just keep shooting it, and that's what he's doing. But yeah, next question. Whoever has that one.
Xander, I want to ask you a little bit about your game and the way teams are defending you this year. Early on, that first game against the Chaos, everyone was making a big deal about them face guarding you on the crease. Is that something you're still seeing, or have teams kind of let up on that, or have you guys just found a way around it? Because lately you've been putting up points. You've been finding the back of the net. So I'm just curious how defenses have approached you this year.
I think it's sort of a combination of all the things you mentioned. I think that first game definitely was the hardest face guard I saw, and I think Trey Ray's obviously really good at that, and we saw him do it last year. I kind of saw that one coming because I saw him do it to Holman in the playoffs the year before, and I think the whip snake sort of face guarded me my last game the year before. I knew Troy was really capable of it, and he does a really good job of sort of almost hiding himself in skip lanes and daring people to throw it. And then he comes out of nowhere and picks it off. And I think he's just a player that's really comfortable doing the off-ball role and covering that guy and blanketing them. But then again, I think also like our guys are just dodging another level these days where it's like if you don't slide, they're going to sting you. So I think it's also a compliment to like the midfielders who are doing a thankless job of just dodging, drawing a slide, and getting that deep rotating. That really helps get myself open. And then having Jeff and Shelly who are like always eyes up, whether it's to me on the inside or over the backside to Trainer or Bowery, Costa, whoever it may be, Stevens. I think it's a combo of them all. But I think just with the way our team's set up right now, I think there's too many threats around. Like the other 6 guys are such big threats that you can't really afford to just lock one guy off anymore. So I think that's allowing me to sort of get the ball a little bit more than I was in the beginning.
That was my takeaway is like the midfield depth that you guys have is astounding.
Yeah.
And the guys who've emerged this year have been really awesome. And I'm curious what you think. Not only did you guys lock up a playoff spot this past weekend, you locked up a spot in championship series. So I'm curious if there's a guy that you didn't get to see play sixes last year, whether it's a rookie this year or a guy like Shelly who was out due to injury last year, that you're excited to see in Champ Series in sixes next February.
I mean, there's so many. Obviously, Shelly, right? We really wanted him last year. He was coming off that surgery. I think he'd be amazing. And then Trainer's so slick, right? So good around the crease. But then also, I was golfing. We're not going to get him probably because he's an indoor guy, but we were golfing in Utah, and I was partnering up with Jake Stevens, and I was like, dude, if you could just somehow get a week off, I think he'd be amazing, right? Because he can go both ways, cover the field. He's one of those guys that, like, he'd just be all over the place. So it'll probably be Trainer. We'll be the Trainer and Shelly, but I think Steve-O could be amazing, too, if we could get him.
Yeah, Stevens is incredible. I can't believe that he's like, I don't know if he's like the 5th or 6th or 7th option on your offense or whatever, but it's like that guy makes incredible plays. And I've always said he plays like there's an industrial strength magnet pulling him towards the net. Like it's just full force and full speed towards the net all the time. I think he's exciting.
He's awesome. And he's really good off the ball too. He sets picks that people don't see sometimes. He does it all. He's been a huge pickup for us.
So there's one I have that I'm interested in. Did Docs play?
Docs played this past weekend.
He played sixes? Yeah, because he's just such a good athlete.
He played. He played.
He played 2 years ago, I'm sure.
He didn't play last year.
Okay. Yeah, but Jace, I guess I'll go off that really quick with Docs. He's obviously back in the lineup actually right after he basically just tormented a league for like 6 games, running up the score like 182-0, goes straight to the first place team in the PLL. A couple people are calling him Kevin Durant, but that's not mine to say. What's he bringing? Because obviously he's got to get like kind of his legs under him, back into lacrosse shape, stick in the hand. But what's he bringing just to the locker room right now? I'm sure having like Docs in the locker room, I love him. I think he's a great guy. What's he bringing to the locker room?
He's just hysterical, right? And he came in, he did a really good job coming back in, right? And he was just so pumped and so grateful to be back with the fellas. And then he's just nonstop comedy, nonstop entertainment, not only off the field, but then on the field, right? You watch him in practice. He got good takes in the game. He was kicking himself a little bit. He looked great, but in practice, man, he just folds the defense. Like, if you try to stop him to shorty, like, you have to slide it. He's kind of like a Costa where it's like you got to slide to him. So on the field, he's amazing. And then off the field, he's just the funniest guy, nonstop entertainment.
I think one of the funniest low-key moments in PL history is in the semifinals game at Hofstra. Like, the most intense, in my opinion, playoff game and championship included was the overtime game last year at Hofstra. Mm-hmm. Docs, during the run-out, doing the flip, was just like, because it's just like, wow, that is it. It's just having fun out there. Like,
I didn't even see that. I saw it on Twitter after the game. I know that happened. I was like, what was this?
I saw it. I was like, wait, did he just flip? It's like, oh yeah, I guess he can just do that if he wants.
Yeah, exactly.
You've been on this show a couple times now. I've never asked this. I ask every guest from now on this question. What was your welcome to the league moment?
Can be all field as well.
Yeah, we'll save that one, Mitch. You saw that part too I put down?
There's a ton of them. It wasn't the league, but it was first time playing against PLL guys. It was just one story that came to mind right away. It was the Fall Classic a year or two ago. We were playing Canada, and Owen Grant slashed me on the arm, and he like lays the lumber, and he broke my wrist a little bit. And I didn't really realize what happened. And I
a little bit.
Went to the hotel elevator back with our team, and I was in the locker room with DeLuca. He was like, "Is that Owen Grant?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess I've seen him do that before." So just sort of like a check that can literally crack the bone a little bit was a wake-up call. I got to watch out.
Yeah. Oh, and then, gosh. Oh, Jesus. And then I guess going off that is you hear these stories about the NBA rookies, the NFL rookies. did we see any of these, I want to call it, these hands don't haze, but a couple of these, rookie moments off the field? Did you have one? Is there a favorite that pops in your mind that isn't associated with the Atlas?
I can't really think of one, but Mike Presser is big on making the rookies get the balls, and he calls them out by name, which I kind of love because I feel like in college that was like frowned upon, but he makes it clear he's like, rookies, you're on the balls, right? And no one else touches them. It's kind of funny that he's kind of bringing that back, which I like.
That's awesome that it's
I
him
like that
too.
a lot.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I know. That's good. And going off Owen Grant, I interviewed you after a PLL game one time. I said biggest hack. You said Mike Manley. Is he still the biggest hack?
We'll see this weekend, probably.
I was gonna say,
That's a smart man. He wasn't getting mic'd up right there. He's not getting that out there.
I don't know, Xander, if you remember. I think it was a game against the Outlaws last year where you had the mic'd up moment, where I don't know exactly what it was, but I don't know if you remember. But it was more like I don't know. It was a good chirp though.
I remember it.
Yeah. I think it was directed towards Bernhardt, but yeah, I'm sure they'll remember as well. I think that was a blowout.
Guess we'll see.
I love that. Heading into this weekend, obviously huge game for you guys. Walk us through how you're feeling. Obviously, clinch champ series, number one in the East. How are you guys feeling?
We're feeling good. We're feeling good, but I think we felt good last year, right? And I think now we're very aware that, like, no matter how good you feel, I think, and me personally, I think any team putting up, our big thing is 48 full, right? I think the 8th place team in the league, whoever it is right now, I'm not even sure. Like, if they put up 48 full against the first place team, and the first place team has like a bad quarter or two or a couple of minutes, like, anyone can beat anyone, right? So we're just trying to perfect everything we can. We've clinched playoffs, right? Finish strong, stay healthy if we can, and then get the playoffs and just take it like minute by minute. We talk about like the first 3 minutes of the game and the first 3 minutes of the second half, right? So I think now this whole team has an understanding, like, doesn't matter how good you think you are, right? Like, anyone can beat anyone. We felt great going to the semis of Austria last year, and we beat the Whips once last year, and we lost, right? So we feel good, but I think we're very aware of, like, hey, every game's a dogfight, and every game's going to be a dogfight. So we're just sort of staying humble, staying heads down.
Yeah, I mean, we do picks on here every weekend, and we always say, like, it's all you could pick with your eyes closed and still potentially go 4-0. So you never really know. But Hoagie, what do you got?
Yeah, no, I was going to say, Xander, kind of this game, obviously you guys in Denver, I think, have been the best two teams in the league probably since like week 3 or 4. You guys have both separated yourselves. This game was flexed to the earlier game on ABC, national television, so biggest game of the regular season so far to date. But now you also factor in that this game's going to be in Denver at the Outlaws homecoming weekend, so it's not just, another weekend where you're playing another team like this and this high stakes of a game. In my opinion, I think this is probably going to be the biggest home field advantage or biggest home field crowd advantage we've seen in the history of the league, given the magnitude of the game, the stakes, so on and so forth. So is there a different approach, or how are you guys kind of talking about that or handling that, where this game is massive, but it's also at their home, on their homecoming, on ABC? It's kind of like, I think that atmosphere is going to be amazing. So I guess I'd say, how are you guys like approaching that? Are you handling it in a different way? And then also, like, how excited are you to kind of step between the lines for this game?
Yeah, I mean, we got our team call on Wednesday, so we'll see how we're handling it. But I think everyone's just jacked up, right? A lot of us were at Utah Saturday night. We stuck around, played some golf, and then we were watching the Outlaws Archers game, right? And that, talk about a home fan base, right? Like, they were booing Brennan every time we got the ball and stuff. And we were like, this is sick. Like, this is epic. It felt like a big-time college game. Like, felt like the PLL was really making a big stride with home fans. And we all know that Denver is typically, I'd say, some of the biggest fans, right? And there's Outlaws fans there, like, through and through for decades, right? So we know it's going to be a home field advantage for them. It's going to be sort of actually like a real home field advantage, it's going to feel like. And I think we're just jacked up, right? All these guys, everyone in the PLL just wants to play in an atmosphere like that, right? Everyone wants to be on the field when there's fans booing you or cheering you, right? It's just exciting. It's like an electric atmosphere, similar to like a college Final Four game, right? Those games are just almost more fun. There's a different intensity to them. So I think we're just honestly really pumped to go with them and then play the other number one team in the conference. So we're juiced.
Yeah, we had Trevor on last week, and he said that he was like, one of the things he was looking forward to in the future of the league is being able to like walk in as like everyone hates you, everyone's booing you as like that underdog guy, and he's gonna actually have that opportunity this weekend. Funny too, he's gonna be playing on Denver, the school where he became a legend, on that field in front of those fans. So they might not give him the Brennan O'Neill treatment this week. They'll probably take it a little easier on him, but we'll see how that goes. But kind of going off that too, Has the approach been different for you guys? I know each game is each game and you can win or lose, but with the East and West playoff format now where it's like, the bottom team in each conference is going to lose it. Was there talks about that at the beginning of the year? Was there a different approach to how certain Eastern Conference games mattered more than Western Conference games at all? Or no, just kind of same business as usual?
I'd say a little bit of both. Every game matters to us. We want to win every game, want to play hard and just make improvements. You only have 10 weeks to improve and figure out what you need to work on in practices in your limited time. But also, Mike Presser's done a really good job of telling us what we're playing for every game. And he goes and finds out exactly, he's talking to Seth and Rachel and being like, if this happens, what does it mean for us, right? And he tells us. So there's a lot of moving parts we're talking about. They changed the playoff format. They changed the conferences, sort of. So people are wondering. I think he does a really good job being like, hey, fellas, you win this by this amount. Here's what we're playing for. And everyone knows, what's on the line, what's at stake. You lose this, here's what you're looking at. So every game is the same to us, right? We just want to win every game and get better. But we also are aware, we knew last game we won, we clinched. So I think just knowing what you're fighting for and what you're playing for is big for us and it's helped us.
That's great. I have one. I think that this PLL, they started the season going to these hotbeds, Baltimore, and I think a lot of online discourse was just the fan bases didn't really show out at these hotbeds, but the way that they ended the season, right? I think it started off in San Diego, and then it was the All-Star break, and then it was Chicago, and then on this great stretch of run of attendance. Going into that as well, I always say I don't think the PLL season officially starts until after All-Star break. How much truth do you think there is to that? Because obviously in a 10-game schedule, every game does matter, but I think that you really start to see the teams and players who are, working these 9-to-5 jobs, have to work out in the morning, shoot at night, or vice versa, finally get the stick back in to their normal mode. How much truth do you think there is just overall to the season doesn't start till All-Star break?
I think there's some truth to it for sure. I think everything feels cleaner, and you look at turnovers. I think they are down a lot statistically, and I don't know whether that's what we're talking about, where guys are just getting sharper. But it does feel like these games are getting more and more intense and more sort of. I think it's a better version of lacrosse at a higher level, and I think that also has to do with the atmospheres, right? I always correct people. Connecticut was amazing. Fairfield's a hotbed, and that was an amazing crowd.
100%.
But yeah, then Chicago, San Diego, Utah, it's these non-traditional hotbeds have been showing out. And we're talking about before, a big crowd just feels different, right? When you're playing in a sleepy, there's a couple people in the stands, right? You're still going as hard as you can, but just something different in the air. And I think the past few weeks have been a whole couple notches up in terms of attendance and the crowds and how engaged they are and how they're actually engaged and they're winning on for plays that lacrosse fans know and understand. You can tell the crowd is very aware of what's going on, runouts and ground balls that people are going nuts for. It just feels it's pretty fun to play, and I think that contributes to it too, where everyone's now big time fan bases, everyone's playing for playoff spots, and everyone wants to extend their season as far as they can. So the intensity feels like it's turned up a little bit.
So
that's where I thought you were going with that question, Dukes. I thought you were going to the Fairfield. I was curious, Xander, how much family did you have there, and where does Fairfield rank in terms of hotbeds, in your opinion?
I love it. I think Connecticut's got some of the best lacrosse players, and I'm probably biased, but I think it's got a ton of talent, like Brunswick, Darien, the talent that these programs are producing, and I think just the fans that showed out for that was huge. Right? I think we know Fairfield's kind of a hotbed, but it felt like there was a ton of people. I had a lot of fans. My grandfather came up from New Jersey. I had a ton of family supporting. But not even that. It just felt like every seat was packed and everyone was so engaged in the game. It wasn't just people were wandering around. People were locked in. It felt like. So it was pretty cool, I thought.
Yeah, I'm on record that for the past couple of years, Chicago, I thought the setup there as a fan was so fun. Just being right on the lake, it was just so beautiful. Fairfield is top tier. Do you think if you had one city or state that doesn't have a team, you think Connecticut deserves one?
Yeah, I thought they were going to get one. Yeah,
wow. I did too.
Yeah, I really did.
I did too. And now going off that, you get to pick. You win PLL MVP championship. We asked Trevor this question. You get to pick with Paul Rabel to your right, Mike Rabel to your left. They say, Xander, where do you want to go next season? One location for a PLL weekend. Where are you picking?
It's a great question.
Thank you. This is week 36 for me. At least I'm getting better.
I think Miami would be sick.
Dude, Trevor said.
That's what Trevor said.
Watches the pod.
Yeah. I think Miami. My brother lived there. I just visited there. There's a ton of good lacrosse schools in the area. I think it would be unreal. And I think it'd be very fun after the game too. So I think it's
You know what? Sign me up. I'm in.
it'd be sweet. I think people would love it.
Miami, I like that. What about Ohio, the Midwest having a city? I feel like that's been one of the biggest things that people were kind of mad about when the cities came out. Obviously, you're a Connecticut guy, but can we get any representation for the Midwest?
I thought Ohio was great. I thought we played in the new stadium. We sold it out, obviously. We had some battles there, and then there's a good little strip of bars outside the stadium.
Yeah, see, look, it's one of the best. It's the best school in Ohio.
Yeah, just don't drop Mitch's name at the bar. They'll be like, who? We haven't seen him. Worst customer we had.
Worst customer.
Well, I think that's it on our end. Any other questions, boys?
Wait, I got one more for you. Xander, this is kind of off topic, but you don't have any left-handed shots this year. I'm curious, like when your youth coach was, instilling the importance of switching hands, did you just like tell him to fuck off or what?
I guess. I don't know. I mean, at UVA, the Canadians didn't have to do drills in their off hands, and I never understood why. I was like, because they're born up north a little bit, so I would kind of do the same thing and get yelled at a little bit, but I think after a while, Kerwin got okay with it, so I had put a lot of time to the left hand, honestly.
That is awesome. That's just like being like, what's your zip code? What's your country code? Oh, we did miss one that I'll kind of catch on. I think if we're talking about MVP, Shelly, Teat, obviously I think that every year they'll be in the discussion. Liam Ensman. Yeah, I'm not breaking news here. He's one of the best goalies in the world. Absolutely had an MVP stellar performance last weekend. I know we've kind of touched on it. Just what does he bring to the team? How happy are you that you don't have to shoot on him in the league? And what's he like before game time? Because, I mean, I told him, I was like, I get scared seeing you. I just, like, walk the other way. Like, I don't even try to make eye contact with him.
I did the same. Before game time, he's juggling balls, and he's got his whole routine down to a T. I think it's like when he gets his coffee, juggling. He's got everything. I stay away from him before the games and let him do whatever he needs to do to get ready. But he's also huge. I mean, obviously he's like probably one of the best goalies in the world right now. I don't know who he's one of the best goalies in the world. But also his outlet passes have been huge for us, right? And adding him and Michael Grace has been really big at this too. Is we've just been pushing transition a lot harder than we had in the beginning of the season, and it's because NT can make clean saves, right? Not just body saves. He can catch a lot of balls and then just get him up and over the top, and Grace is just streaking underneath to the midline. I think that's unlocked a whole different dimension that we didn't really have in the first few weeks. We weren't really playing that transition game. And I think transition goals like just kill teams. Like they're just morally depleting. You're just like an easy one, like the alpha fast break just hurts to watch as an attack from the other way. So I think his ability to catch balls off out of the air and then just get them upfield right away quickly, the outlet passes, has just been huge for us.
Okay, you're so dialed in. I'm very curious about your perspective then. Just with the PLL rules, I think I get very... I don't know. I think there's a lot of discourse online that I see that pisses me off where people think there's like no strategy to like the professional game, which I think I completely disagree with. Even last year you saw the coaches that didn't really adapt to the 32-second shot clock. They suffered the most last year. What do you think is the one thing in the PLL that you like better than the college game? And then going off that, I think just what do you think is like the most critical piece to success at the professional level? Like, is it specialist? Is it the 2-point line? Yeah, like, I'm fascinated by it. You talking about pushing transition and stuff. I'm like, do you think it's the transition part of the game? I think specialists, like just having elite specialists like you guys do, like you have Trevor and Liam, you're going to be set up for success. Like even if you're one or the other, you can win games, but not necessarily like a championship. So I'm just curious what you think.
No. I think the 32. I think obviously everyone was like moaning about it at first, and I'm not even saying I'm a huge fan of it or I'm not a fan of it, but I like the idea of like here's a new concept where a team can get an edge, right? And it's like there's 8 coaching staffs. It's like here's a new idea that you haven't seen in college, you haven't seen in the game before. Like figure this out. First one to figure it out is gonna have a huge advantage forward, right? Yeah. And I think last year we did that really well, right? Where it was like, all right, the 32 is here to stay. No more whining. Like, let's figure this out first, and let's do it the best. And I think Dox Aiken was huge on that. Trevor getting him out the docks quick and just going down the middle, going to the cage. So I just like the idea of, like, here's a new problem. Throw it, like, it's like feeding it to the wolves, right? It's like, all right, 8 teams. Like, whoever figures this out first, you're going to be in a lot better situation than the others. So you can't sit back and just complain. So I like that a lot. And then, what was part 2 again?
Just, like, what do you think is the most critical piece to, like, team success in the PLL?
Yeah, I think ball movement. I think in the PLL, everyone gets so talented, and a lot of guys, like, I mean, you have, 8 guys on offense in any team, most of them can just win a one-on-one matchup and get a pretty decent shot off, and it's not taking that shot, right? And Armita's done a really good job of that down the stretch of giving up their own, right, for a better opportunity, right? And if you watch Atlas closely, like, there's a lot of shots that people can take that we sacrifice, right? We kick it through X1 more, and you get a lot better luck, right? And it's hard convincing guys that are this talented. It's like they've been doing this for years in college. If they've just been burning a guy and putting it in a corner, it's like, hey, we know you probably can hit this, but, like, if you can just give it up, kick it through, and, like, drift off the backside, like, we can get a little bit of a better opportunity and getting guys to buy into that. And I think the best teams, the best offenses are the ones with the best ball movement, right, that aren't relying on just one-on-one to win games. So I think getting guys to buy into it is one thing, and then two, executing, like, really good ball movement and, like, a ton of passing in possession and getting late in the clock. Like, that's what we try to do at UVA, was use all the clock to get the best look you can. Don't just settle. I think that's the biggest key of being a good offense.
Great answer.
Thanks.
I like
Killed
that.
that, dude. Killed that.
Yeah. I think last question on our end. Social media kind of broke this past weekend with Team Hit the Frog hitting the field and social media. You know, if those guys reach out to you for an invite, maybe after your pro career is done, are you going to take that and potentially try out?
Was it War at the Shore?
War at the Shore, baby.
Or
C division.
I did War
He played in the C division.
That's better. A division wasn't bad. We were B, and then we were like, we should maybe go down one more.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Hey, the
thank
Slim
you,
Reap
Xander.
is on
Yes.
Team Frog, baby. Stay tuned.
Yeah. Sign me up.
I like that. There we go. Well, Xander, appreciate you coming on. Good luck this weekend, brother. Thank you.
Thank you, fellas. Appreciate it.
Quarter 3, start, bench, cut. You guys know how we do it. My favorite segment of the whole entire show. We're going Team CELLYs in honor of the New Balance All-American game. Brennan Millen, Gary Merrill, Anthony Rayo. We got team celebrations. Team CELLYs. Start, bench, cut. Hoagie, let's start with you. The rowboat, CELLY. The bicycle, or the new and improved Tush Push.
I'm starting the bicycle. The bicycle is the most iconic Under Armour All-American celebration of all time. I mean, roll the clip right now. I mean, A+. I love the bicycle. I'm starting that easy. I'm benching the rowboat. The rowboat, another iconic one. When I think of Under Armour All-American games and you tell me CELLYs, the first two that come to mind is the rowboat and the bicycle. So it's an easy start bench for me. And I'm cutting the tush push. I like the tush push. They come with the times. Eagles just won the Super Bowl. Obviously, the tush push is a big thing in the NFL. It'll look great. But at the same time, I'll tell you what. Hot take, it doesn't hit the same anymore now that's not the Under Armour All-American games. I didn't think the uniforms, I think, this year were terrible. They were black and white. They're very lackluster.
What was that?
What?
What was that celebration I just watched?
That was the
That was
bicycle.
the bicycle.
Doogs hates celebrations.
We used to call that something else, but
It's different now. That's not the Under Armour. I'm telling you, the Under Armour used to have the crazy uniforms. It was the biggest thing. It was crazy. The CELLYs. I don't know if I'm just Mitch. We're too old now. We're out of the high school game. I mean, you're actually still in it a little bit, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't. The best era of it was.
I mean, come on, look at that CELLY.
Look at the two guys on the bottom. Look at the two guys on the bottom.
that's
God.
Mitch. That's Mitch and Hoagie in the Ohio State dorms freshman year.
Oh my God, dude. That's getting clipped. That's getting clipped.
Pause it right there.
They didn't have lacrosse equipment on though.
Dude, you're the best one-liner guy I know.
Dude, what are those guys like?
Dude. What players are those?
Heinous.
Do we know what players those are?
Yeah, we got it. Zoom it back. Zoom it back.
Dude, this is 2017. They're probably in the PLL.
Fowler?
I don't know.
Oh, Chris Fowler. He's Nova guy. Went to Cornell. Who's the other guy?
Look at his legs.
Keep zooming it back. Oh,
It looks
Dude,
like Miller.
this
look
gets
at his
worse.
legs in the air.
This gets worse and worse the more I watch it.
Oh my God.
Do they like barely know each other too?
All right, so
Yeah,
Duke,
just met.
start bench cut.
How do you know that, dude?
I'm cutting every single celebration.
What?
Yeah, I don't
All right,
need.
give me your very own start bench cut of CELLYs.
I love the Brennan O'Neill, just screaming a mofo's face. Yeah, like I like very simple ones. You know, I like touch grass. I like touch grass.
CELLY Frog.
Like the CELLY?
CELLY Frog.
Frog, yep.
Guys, yeah.
You want a shirt?
I think the arrow that Marcus Holman did the first year of the PLL. like week 1 at Gillette was one of the cleanest celebrations of all time.
Will Manny.
Sure.
Yeah, Will Manny.
I'll
yeah.
believe you. But basically, by the way, in that era, the same person. I
Yeah.
not tell them apart.
Twins. They were both in the rivals too. The rival STX rival.
And now that's the Dom Petramala.
Yeah, it is the Dom. It is the Dom
Nice
now.
stroke.
And the Duncan Barnes at the War at the Shore. Roll that clip
Yeah, don't
too.
forget about it. Do not forget about it.
How did Dunkey play?
Great. Outstanding.
He
Just,
sat out. He sat
know,
out the championship. He coached.
Yeah, which is very sad. It's kind of one of those
he
things. It's like,
hungover?
why are you here?
Parker?
He said his hamstring hurt.
Not frogged up.
Start bench cut. I'll go next. I'm absolutely starting the tush push. Absolutely starting it. New wave, new kids, new everything. I am benching. I think now I got to bench the bicycle because that was hilarious. Shout out Doogs. And I'm cutting the rowboat. It's just like, it's we've seen it every game. And it's kind of getting old.
The rowboat.
Here we go.
This is
It's on the screen right now.
Where's this Garden
Only it's
City High
working.
School rowboat?
Yeah. Look, nobody in the fans. Sad. Kev, you go.
All right, I'm gonna start the bicycle. Just for that just gave me so many laughs. Probably the most I've laughed on the show so far this year. So
I like
how
that.
can I not start it after that? I'm gonna bench the rowboat. Get everyone involved. Lots of fun. Everyone's smiling. Look at it. Look at this team.
Yeah, it's the Garden
doing
City rowboat.
Look at
This
that.
is what they did at Mary Washington.
Yes,
What's this
that's
guy
right.
doing?
We did if we
Walden?
ever won. And lastly, I'm going to cut the tush push. I told you before, I hate everything to do with the Philadelphia Eagles. I will never start it or bench it in any representation on this show. But in reality, I'm probably cutting all of them. Like Doogs, I think it's a little silly, a little Savannah Bananas-ish. But that's okay, as long as they're all having fun.
I like that. Now,
You gonna be able to defend your title, Mitch, from last week?
now,
Put your money where your mouth is, Pelt. Let's go.
now we get into the biggest aspect of the whole entire show. Ball knower of the week. Pehlke's
It all
in
comes
first
down to
place. Kevin's in second.
It's not
Hoagie's in third.
It's not even
Dukes
true.
is in fourth.
Standing
And I'm
This is
so
what
excited.
happens.
Yeah.
This is what happens
I'm
when you
so
got
excited.
the state-run media of Mitchell Pehlke.
Well,
I'm so excited.
just to put this out there, Dukes, he said if he gets this one, he'll put a wager on there. But there's no wager if he's not winning.
I get
So-
it wrong. Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
Who are the 10 STX athletes in 2022?
AP had to come off. AP had to get his camera on for this one. AP's fired up right now.
God.
Look at him.
Oh, God. Something bad's coming. I know it.
Yeah, what is this?
All right. Ball knower of the week. What was STX's first head ever made?
What?
STX Sam! STX Sam!
No,
STX
that doesn't count.
1970.
That doesn't count.
Bullshit.
That doesn't
Yes,
count.
Bingo.
1970. Bingo.
Bingo.
That does not count.
Bingo.
No,
This is
no, no.
Cue the clip.
That
He's
doesn't
in
count.
bed.
No.
He's in
Pehlke's
bed with
in
the
first
producers.
That does not count. Nope.
The STX Sam 1970.
All right, what's
We got
the real,
Rob.
gotta say-
what's
we
the
got
real
Rob
question?
from
What's
Lacrosse
the real,
Unlimited
what's
here.
the real question?
That is the real question.
Yo,
There's no way.
malpractice by the producers.
I quit the podcast.
Let's go.
There's
I
no
quit
way.
the podcast. I quit the podcast.
We will see you guys next
There's no
Wednesday,
way.
where Pehlke goes 3-0, and the loser of Ball Knower now has to get a buzz cut. We'll see you guys next Wednesday.